Morning, everybody. Go into the approval of the board of minutes for March 21st, 2023.
I make a motion, we accept the board minutes for March 21st, 2023.
No, second.
Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks, Billy. We're in the correspondence. First one is from Dick Anderson Construction, just having an annual banquet and auction. Like that we have from. Okay, the next one's from United States Department of Agriculture. This is on the Pittsburgh with seeking your input on the 3 separate proposals involving land special uses and mineral. Next one's from FEMA. It's on that flood insurance rate map database.
Can you just give me this time?
He did that last week. What all we have. Okay, then we got a from Mako, a reminder on the 2023 Montana flat call for projects closed March 31st. This is it's a request for proposals Montana Federal Lands Access Program Proposal Instruction Checklist. Is it for correspondence? Any public comment on that? I think we're a couple minutes behind, so we'll just jump right into public comment.
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
It's hard to hear you.
Go
On
ahead.
your,
Sorry.
excuse me? I'm talking. To go back to my train of thinking, it's hard to hear you again remotely. And I know you did the correspondence. Are you gonna take any action on them? Is there anything that needs to be acted upon? Or you just stamp it and pass it through?
We just stamp it and pass it on. We don't act on anything in this office, Elena.
On this FEMA thing though,
Things aren't,
I think we have 30 days to draft. Firm. Maybe we'll have to look at this.
So the FEMA piece of correspondence, I actually have talked to Linda about, because Linda actually got a copy as well, and that will be on your agenda in the month of April. She'll be coming in to go
Okay,
through that
so
with you.
we are acting upon this
The FEMA,
FEMA
yes,
draft
the
Flood.
floodplain.
flood insurance map. That we will.
Elena has another comment.
Go ahead, Elena.
Okay, so the FEMA that was mentioned, is there like a 30-day public comment on that?
Well, we have 30 days.
I'm sorry, what?
We have 30 days to review it.
And I thought it was a public comment as of the 21st when you got it.
Well, comments in.
Okay, you want to explain the map to me and how it affects Granite County?
Explain what?
Thank you for the record.
I don't see a map. There's no map on it.
This was that one lady came in and talked. Remember when she was here and went through all maps? They're just asking us to, I think, accept it. Those maps from a while ago.
And like she said before, it's public comment, we don't answer her. Take her comment, then if she wants on Jim, she put it there. Now she's wanting us to answer. She can't make up her mind whether she wants us to or not.
Right, and there's no map attached to that
Thank
letter, so.
you.
Elena has a public comment.
Go ahead, Elena.
Oh, here.
Okay, for the record, since you're discussing me and what she can do and she can't do, I want to say this. I asked to be on the agenda one time, if you recall, and I was denied by the chair because I believe you said you were sick and tired, so you didn't put me on the agenda. Okay, and that's for the record, for your record and for my record. Thank you.
Glad we all have records.
So we're gonna have any comment on this, that's for another one. Not a. This Northwestern Energy Stewart Lake Underground Power Line reroute.
I thought they were talking, they were gonna come in at one time and explain it to us where it was gonna run and that. I can't, you look on the back and it's so hard to read. I guess we can send them a letter or something, see what they're,
Well, this is a north, this is a different thing.
yeah.
That's why it's hard to see.
Somebody waving their hand.
Jim,
Oh,
I must not know how you're, Jim is waving. Hi, Kim. I see you.
Go ahead. Gotta mute himself.
All right, I think I muted it. Good morning, this is Jim Baquet. It's concerning that reroute of the power line that comes up. If you're heading to Stewart Lake, just after you take a right by the shooting range and go up about 200 yards to the second power pole on the right, they're going to be taking that overhead line down that goes to that cabin up at the T by the waterworks and putting it underground along the road. The only real question I have on it, I talked to the guys that were planning it out last year, was why they weren't going all the way back to the firing range where the trees start getting close to the line. And they just said that that's just what they were told to do. But it seems like it would make more sense to go ahead and take the last 2 poles out to the corner by the shooting range. If they did that, they wouldn't have any trees that could impact it. But that's the area that they're talking about, all that overhead line that goes from the second power pole up to the mountain and then back down towards Charles's cabin there at the corner.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
The one guy actually said he was gonna come in, so maybe he will. Any other public comment? If not, we'll move on to weekly report with Road and Bridge. All
Apparently isn't here today.
I wanna go back to this Blackfoot Telephone Cooperative Fiber Optic Phase 2. Is that gonna screw up the road anyhow? I mean, where are they gonna put that?
the guy that I talked to, he's a new guy, and he said he's gonna come in and explain it, but it's gonna be off to the side, coming up along that old ditch along there.
Well, the one I'm looking at comes down and goes right over to the East Fork residence. It comes down that road.
Oh, I see.
It looks like it comes down by Spillway Campground, then it comes up the road that, you know, the Viking Lane. And then hits our road. And then goes out East Fork Road. To,
I guess we could get him on the agenda, Chuck, and.
yeah, let's do that. I'm like,
Do that. He was gonna,
Still on this one
yeah.
up here, sorry, that's all I asked you about, because when they were talking about that Stewart and what was going on. But he said he was gonna come, it's a new guy.
so yeah, Chris, he's
Yeah.
the public information officer basically for the project, and he was gonna meet up with everybody at your next joint sessions meeting, but I can have him come in separately for this
I think
meeting if you want.
Come in separate.
Okay.
Then we look at the maps and stuff in here,
Okay,
then.
Yeah, I wasn't home and got a message from him, but I felt that instead of reaching out to each one of us, he should reach out to the 3 of us in one session instead of,
That's what I told him.
yeah, oh, you told him that,
Yeah.
okay,
Cause he was asked about some stuff up Maxwell, and I said, best thing to do is just come in.
Yeah.
I said, there's some stuff that hasn't got completed, but you come in, we can show you on the maps. He said, there's 3 of us, we can just do it that route.
yeah, I'll get a hold of him.
Granite County Commissioner's Office,
Hey, Glenn,
hi there,
how are you guys?
good, how are you?
guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd call in case you, somebody needed something.
okay,
Am I on?
yeah, you are, we can hear you.
Okay,
I'll
I was
turn you
gonna say,
Yeah.
I got hands going back out to the Middle Fork to, judge that pile again, to survey it, and we'll see how where we're at. Tommy thinks he's pretty close, so. Hans, hopefully we'll get sometime this week. But he said he'll get out there as soon as he can, I talked to him this morning. And so it sounds like that should come to a wrap this week. If all goes well.
okay.
And, other than that, on that cattle guard out there on East Fork, I did talk to Mongus and they have no intention of putting cows out there, period, so we could take it out, but I think that we should, run an ad in the paper for a couple of weeks to make sure we don't get anybody else having a concern.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I was thinking about that after we talked last week. And I think I agree, just take both of them out.
Yeah, I think that'd just be great. You know, I mean, it isn't gonna hurt anything.
No, it'd be like every other county road that comes into the state highway. I mean,
As long as they don't
Exactly.
get give us something that they're not gonna lease and that, and then we take it out and we have to put it back in. I guess that's kind of like that other one. we
Yeah,
have,
yeah,
right?
could we get something in writing from August that they're not gonna use that?
I can talk to them, when I get back, I can certainly talk to them about it. When I did talk to them, they said that, you know, they'd have to fence their houses and all that stuff out, and they have 250 or 60 acres that they do lease for cattle, but it's on the, off to the other side.
Okay, that's all I worry about is just taking it out, and then all of a sudden, somebody like that last one we got into, and then come back, we have to put it in and re-fence everything. That's all I'm saying.
If we advertise it, then that'll pretty much take us out of the clear too.
Every neighbors will know and everything else. Is that all right, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, I mean, I think that's the thing to do that way. Once it's advertised for a couple of weeks and, either we get some opposed and get it straightened out, or we don't get any at all, at least it's done and we yard them out.
Okay, well, we'll have Billy put it in the paper. Maybe you can tell her how to put it and where the two cattle guards the road and she probably knows, but that way it'll be a legal description.
We need a motion on that.
Not until we, I think when we come back in, then it will be the discussion decision, then we'll make the motion on taking them on. This way we're just giving,
I mean, about putting it in the paper.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll move to we put that in the paper, advertise, remove it to first two cattle guards on East Fork.
I'll second it.
Public comment? Means none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
And just one question, the reason we can make this motion is because we're still in the weekly report with Road and Bridge. And this is discussion on all matters. Okay. Understandable.
What else you got?
Other than that, not a lot, just throwing some sand here and there, trying to get the roads bared off, but as you know, it won't quit snowing, it doesn't seem like. But, Rock Rick running the most trouble down there with rock slide is continuous.
You got
That's
that,
just normal, you know.
you got that message yesterday?
No,
I left you a message yesterday, it was late. Yesterday afternoon, I figured somebody was going down there this morning, so.
oh yeah, I got a guy down there already.
Yeah, and it's good. Hey, on that gate and the sign up, Bearville, they shoved the gate back so far it's back in the snow and they stole the sign. I don't think we should keep putting up signs because they just keep stealing them. It's a,
Well, we're just running out of them. I mean, they sold 3 last year alone.
I called, that lady called and she was telling me about this, there's people stuff. Well, it don't do no good to put signs and they shove the gate back so far, it's not gonna ever last unless we cut it off and redo it, so. BLM can put some signs up there, the ones that advertise Garnet Goes Town. I'm tired of wasting all that money.
No, I'm with you on that. Every time we do anything up there, they take the signs, and every time we shut the gate, they open it and smack it all the way around where you can't do anything, so obviously they want it open.
I guess I better run that by, cause there was somebody stopped there the other day and they said, well, there's no signs, well, we just can't keep putting them up and I don't know. It's
No,
is it a BLM gate?
No, it was well, it's I think BLM put it in years and years ago. And it used to be closed, but there's people living up in there, so it got left open, but now they've bent it around. We tried to shut it last year and like I said, 3 signs, now 1 this year. If people go up there and get stuck, and they walk down this lady's house and she's having a fit because they come to her house, well.
right, it's not our fault.
So,
You know, you skate all the way up there, then you can see where everybody's parked in a great big parking area, and the road's not plowed anymore. That should be indication enough.
well, then now somebody busted their cars up there and they're wondering maybe we put a gate down lower or something. I said, no,
No,
that's not our fault either, so. Anyway, that's all I.
We'd have no gate.
That's-
I say in the perfect county, we'd have no gate and no cattle cars. We just right.
Good luck.
Well, that's right.
So are these
But anyway,
recreational people that are going up and stealing the sign?
We don't know who takes them. I mean, it's whoever goes up there, it just seems like they disappear.
So the sign, the property owners wouldn't be taking the sign down.
I would say it's recreational people because anybody that isn't would know you can't drive up that road.
Yeah,
And there's been some of them side by sides, they've been going, so it looks like people drive, so now they try to go in there in these little cars and then next thing you know, they're stuck. It's nothing we can,
No, nothing we're gonna do about it ever.
I thought I better let you know, she called yesterday again, so
Okay,
I took her, told in and she called the sheriff and stuff, so. 'Cause there's somebody walking always up there digging next to the road and. Up further, right across from hers, but I blamed, sent the deputy up there and they took pictures.
yeah,
Mhm.
never ends.
No,
It'll be mud next.
that's what she was saying, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I had,
Okay, I guess what's next?
well, it's on here, the purchase of plows and sanders.
Right, so what the deal is with that is we need 2 sanders for the existing trucks that we got. And we need 1 plow or one of the trucks that we have. And then the other 2 plows would be for the trucks that we just purchased. And, so that's what that is.
okay, so
I did that.
Paul,
Go ahead.
one question, did you mention something that sanders that have to be replaced, or are your sanders in good shape? Was that meant?
No, the sanders that we need to get, we need them because, we have 2 that we just need to throw away.
So I guess we just need to figure out before we make a, find out the pricing and
Yeah,
availability.
you got it. The pricing is there,
We don't.
And, the availability, I mean, this doesn't have to be decided right this second, but we should do it in the next week or 2, or we won't get them by next fall.
Yeah. Well,
You know, and
maybe,
then on those,
let's just,
on the,
maybe when you get done over here and after talking to so many people like you said, then we can maybe put on the agenda, be here next Tuesday, we can get this done.
yeah, I'll just bring in new prices next Tuesday,
She just
and,
found, yeah, you might get a better deal over there or something, so. Let's just go that route.
it'd be good if we could put depending on the pricing, to put a, hydraulic V-plow on those small 4-wheel drive trucks that we just bought. For getting in them tight spots and stuff, it'd be pretty dang handy.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, it would.
After you figure it out over there, and let's just put it on when you're here next Tuesday, and then we can go over, you guys all right with that? Then we understand it better.
Can we put these 2 trucks on our invisible list that we have on the wall?
Is there?
yes, they're below the grader.
Okay.
I'll get the list.
Okay.
Better bring it with you next Tuesday, obviously.
Bring it in next Tuesday.
I don't care if it's on a 4x8 piece of plywood, get the goddamn thing in here.
Right.
Anything on
But,
solid waste?
No, nothing. We're still waiting. It'd be nice to figure out what's going on with putting these bathrooms in, because it's gonna be hard enough to find somebody to build them without waiting.
I think we're waiting on the both of the mayors to get back with us, and Blaine was checking in on that other piece, right, Blaine? But. We were supposed to, I thought we were gonna get like releases or something from them to do it, so then. I thought that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
So one thing that I gotta mention is I noticed that there's some kind of grant money out there for solid waste. I wonder if
Can somebody go after it?
if we could use, because they're at the solid waste site. And it was in one of the emails from Mako where there's monies coming in that we can use for the solid waste program. for solid waste programs. So,
Why don't we check into that? Billy?
yeah, it was just, I was reading it and I'm going, oh, maybe we could use that. Request that for the bathroom.
But anyway, we have to get the release from the cities.
I thought they're gonna have it back, and then they talk like doing it during the joint thing, but I don't think we can wait that long to have to speak. Well, like he's saying, we're gonna find somebody to do it.
What we need to do, and then another thing is, you know, I've already talked,
Go ahead.
I've talked with Chad Lannis about it. And as far as green fields and stuff like that, it's gonna be a pretty easy deal because you don't need much.
Okay. And
And another thing on that note, I think we should test the water at the drum and dump. Send it in. I mean, if it's a contaminated well, you don't really wanna be washing your hands and face. And that makes a difference on, do you have to drill another well? Maybe it's good, maybe it's not, but it's
maybe,
never been tested.
That's a good idea.
maybe you could do that, have Chad get somebody to check it.
I will. I just wanted to make sure it was good with you guys to do it. Okay,
All right, well, Blaine's got a comment, sorry, Paul, this,
go ahead.
Oh, you were talking about the permission to use or put the bathrooms in. We talked to the towns about doing a new lease, and then then got into the discussion of how much garbage is going to be allowed to be dumped there. So that was going to be looked at. I can get working on those leases, but yeah, it sounds like we need to get some information first on that. And then if the bathrooms are over 80,000, they're going to have to be bid out, but I'm not sure what the expense is there.
yeah, we know that, we just need to get the permission so we can build them there, so even if they're over 8, then we'll put them out.
So why don't they just give us the land? Hey,
Yeah.
forget about these leases, since they always come to us for everything anyway.
Yeah, that's an option.
Well, yeah, it should be an option. They gave the district to us and kept the land.
Yeah.
We write them or email them or something, so we can get moving on this, so we can get, maybe by this spring or middle spring, we can start working on it or something.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd have them come in and meet with you even before the joint meeting. That's what you're talking about.
I just have them come next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
Put them on the agenda for next week, Paul, and then you can I'll put them on or we can put them on for right after the.
I'll look, yeah, there's some stuff.
Yeah. No, that sounds good because, yeah, I mean, if we had to go ahead right now, we'd probably be lucky to get somebody to build something by August, you know?
Well, if you can check on some of that other and get the water stuff, Matt, so next week we can have that all in order, then we can move ahead and make the decision.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Chad today. And then one more thing, before I hang up, we just got out of a bridge and weight class here. And we're gonna have to think about getting some engineers for some of these bridges. So we can post them how much they can legally haul over them.
We used to have a book in here with it, the state did it a few years ago, Paul, and we had them, Great West had some of that stuff too.
But the point is now, they gotta be new. Because we know we have some problem bridges, and if you put 20-year-old postings on there, those bridges can't hold that.
Yeah,
So we need to get them upgraded, you know?
these weren't that old, they did a bunch of, cause that's when they were gonna try to get them grants and fix some of them bridges, we got some stuff on a few of them. We'll look it up, but. We can get a hold of Great West and see what they have on it too.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Put it on the agenda for. We'll get more information.
Yeah, I mean, it's, Gold Point is one of the most important ones for sure.
Which
And,
one?
Middle Fork. Gold Coin and the Middle Fork.
Okay,
Moose Lake, I mean, Gold Coin actually needs replaced, the whole bridge is gonna have to get replaced at some point soon. And, anyway, I have prices on that, to do. But that's about all I had on.
Well, that's enough.
All right,
Okay, well, we're
well,
gonna move.
I'll let you go, that's it.
All right, thanks.
All right, yep, see you guys, thanks, bye.
Bye.
All right, well, we'll go into the solid waste policy update right here and behind the stuff.
So it kind of would have been nice to have the changes highlighted. Where we kind of get an idea. Blaine, can you, think off the top of your head where exactly we made the changes?
I believe it's page 6 in regards to the fees. And then I was also told that potentially some of that equipment has changed. So I did a second version where I simplified the equipment section. But the fees on, I believe, are on page 6. Let me double check that. It corrects the base unit amount, which is set by resolution. And then we talk about the pay-as-you-go rate is changed. And it's still up to the commission on how you want to do that pay-as-you-go, if that looks acceptable or not.
Well, we discussed and we agreed that it would be. We'd go up to the 20 cents per pound, pay as you go. For non-account holders. And then for people that wanted to buy a unit, they could buy a unit. And they wouldn't,
Their choice, they can pay a little bit more pay as you go.
yeah,
Or they can buy the.
Yeah, if they're a landowner in the county that do not have a habitable structure.
Right.
So if they buy a unit and they go over, they still pay overages, right?
Right.
Okay. That's what I was- That's the problem last week, you couldn't hit, and then when I tried calling in and that was.
so this, it says the pay base rate for a whole unit, the same as set for account holders. For 2,000 pounds, receive dump card with number, or they can pay as you go, so that takes care of that. That's.
As they pay as they go, do we have to put a credit card thing in, or how they're gonna pay as they go?
Well, I don't know how they've been doing it, I think they.
How they do it now.
I don't know, I think down at I've heard sometimes they just come and go. Cause we don't, I don't know, Lynn might know if they're getting billings from these people that, or, you know, or the overages, do we?
Go get it.
Well, I think they have a petty cash, or they used to have a petty cash account at it, at the dump
I think
sites.
it got took out those last, I thought there was something that, there was something going to answer. See, I didn't know.
Why-
And then credit card things, which hardly anybody hauls cash in, while you put one of them little card things in there and they could run it. So they're paid right in, so we're not spending a bunch chasing it down and getting it, that way we know we get it. Cause otherwise you start sending like these overages, these bills and that, look how many we got out, we're getting
Yeah.
some, but. It's gonna be a lot more bills.
That's no big deal getting one of the credit card things, is it?
No, I got one on
Put
my,
them in there.
I have one on my phone. It's pretty simple, it's 10-second deal.
So maybe we ought to get one.
Lynn has stepped out, but they can call the treasurer's office and pay with a credit card. Or they can pay by check up there, or they can pay by cash, but I think it has to be pretty close to the right amount.
Well, problem with cash is then you're starting to handle and handing back. I don't like that idea. I just want to be a credit card, or if they pay up here with credit card, I think it's 3 or 5% extra.
Oh. Oh, wait.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I agree with you on the kind having them pay there so you don't have to get in the situation where you're trying to track down the payment later on. But so I think your ideas are good.
Yeah, I think it's way better there with a credit, if we can get a credit card machine each, it only takes 10-15 seconds to do one, I think it. I don't like the cash deal, cause then they're gonna say, well, I gave you this, and then next thing you know, then. They gotta be running up here with a little box of cash every night, or making sure they have hundreds of dollars for. You know, I just don't like the cash idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good point.
Hey, let's do that then.
We'll just put credit card things in each. I mean, they're simple to do.
Need a motion on
There-
that? I'll make a motion, we put a credit card thing in, don't. Both of them don't.
I'm
I'll second it.
sorry. Public comment on that? Go ahead, Blaine.
I think there's still gonna be a percentage fee on each, paying by credit card, but that'd be their choice and they could use you're gonna allow the check still, right?
Yeah, they can still, yeah, I guess saying though, if we get these in there, there's a 3 or 5% is what's charged. I think Vicky's 3% over here. I should ask her first, but. Even if,
Okay, so you're saying checks too, so that's handling money. So if you don't wanna handle money, handling checks is the same thing as handling money.
I'm just worried about cash. Trying to give, not having enough
So we
to
don't-
give back.
They
Yeah,
don't-
we have to have change there and. So
Like I said,
check
they used to
it.
have a petty cash.
Yeah, I think they got rid of that. I don't know, I guess we could ask them. Yeah, I don't ever.
Because it'd be hassle for the dump person, the person dumping to have to come all the way up to the courthouse and pay also. That's kind of a,
Yeah, I guess
Hey.
do it there and they could leave a check there and that's the supervisor could swing by it every couple, once a week and pick checks up, bring them up to 50. If they have checks, they can call and say, I got 4 or 5 checks here, and we can, or if they can drop them off or whatever. We can, don't you think?
well, I don't know, if you're gonna do a check, you would probably have to. A $7.50 minimum charge, no matter what. Is what it is for pay as you go. So if they weigh it and it's less than $7.50, they still charge you $7.50. If you could round that up without playing with pennies or round it down. I mean, playing with coin. Where if they had the cash, they wouldn't have to mess with the coin.
No, I don't want any kind of cash.
Well, a check is considered cash,
For the check,
so they still have to handle the checks.
but we're not handing them,
But yeah, a check can be traced, and stuff, so like
A check can be what?
traced and, proof as it goes through.
I just don't want a cash box in each place.
I just don't want cash, and then you gotta change there, they can write a check for the exact amount. Fine, I mean. That's where I see.
And then we'll have a credit.
I don't
card
see
there.
that, so I disagree.
I mean, I don't care, I mean, you can say, don't make credit card, I mean, it doesn't make any difference. to me.
Well, the only credit card if they don't have a credit card,
Yeah, that's what I say, so to make it.
and if they don't have a check. Then if they have cash,
Well, we
You
better
can't
put a
deny-
sign up and they better not dump it.
cash is US currency, you can't deny someone to be able to pay cash. Truly,
It's probably true.
huh?
Blaine,
I disagree with that. That would be your guys' call on deciding cash. The cash does lead to a lot of problems. I think it would be your guys' call, but yeah, you can say no to cash.
I still disagree, I disagree with you, disagree.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, we agree to disagree.
at least we got the one motion passed through that. and put credit card. I'm against the cash boxes. I guess can see a big problem there.
Well, I can't, like I say, you'd have to have change. So if somebody only had a $20 bill, you'd have to sit there. And, they're gonna pay $7.50. No. we don't want to do that. But I agree with you.
I know you gotta get cash through, but I can see a big complication. We've had that before when we had cash coming in and it ended up being, yeah.
Well, apparently it's working okay for them as is, however they're doing it.
So
So I just don't think you can, whether or not our county attorney feels that we can make that decision, then I feel that, no, and you guys feel okay. So there you go.
All right, let's move on, man.
Is there any way if
Oh,
they
yeah.
pay cash, we could send them up here and they could pay up here? Not keeping money change down there or in Drummond.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So we wouldn't have to deny them. We could say, okay, you're paying cash, you gotta pay up the courthouse.
And they drive off and don't go to the courthouse.
Mhm.
Keep their driver's license. I'm just kidding. Drive away.
All right,
Whatever.
please go get some credit card machines down there. Wayne?
Oh, I don't know that you ever took the vote on his motion there.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was just public comment.
Oh, public comment?
You never voted on the motion.
No, because we was in public comment.
Yeah.
Now all in favor? Aye.
What am I in favor of?
That's a credit card. Credit card machine.
The credit cards? Okay, aye. What am I against?
Pass. You got a little out of. Anyway. Anything else on the solid waste district policies, procedures, and management?
So are you gonna do a motion on the new policy then too?
Yeah, that's why I guess was asking, is there anything else on it?
Okay,
Make the motion.
So the rest of
I'm a little
it,
behind, Wayne, give me a break. Come
Yeah,
on.
let us-
No,
let us-
you're doing
Yeah.
good, you're doing good.
Jim is waving his hand.
Ooh.
Jim Bakay.
See, I can't see it because you got your, it's all black there. Sorry, it's my fault.
You mean unmute him?
Now,
Now you're blacker.
you're blacker now.
Do you want me to unmute?
morning, everyone. Or
All right, you got me now?
Yep.
All right, the only thing I'm sorry I didn't get my screen on time to make the public comment, but y'all might want to consider for just small amounts of trash to allow the public to dispose of that, because if you don't, it's gonna end up there by my place where they just go up off the road somewhere and throw their bag of trash out. I know at Ennis, where I used to hang out, they had an open place where you could put just small amounts, like a bag or two that you would get when you're up camping or something.
We've tried that before and had stuff and they just, everybody else hauls it in there and then the county, you taxpayers end up paying and the way the dumping fees are going up, no way. They just killed us because the dumping fees have gone so far up. You start putting free stuff out and all these people that have overages, next thing you know, you got them plumb full and. No.
Well, okay, but you know where it's gonna end up there in the National Forest and BLM and on people's private driveways, so whatever,
You don't have
my
to-
comment.
And we've tried it before and they overfilled is all I was saying.
Yeah, I remember there used to be dumpsters on the side of the road and people could just go in and dump and they just got so, it was,
Well, they quit going to
yeah,
them.
they couldn't do, it. Yeah, they,
Yeah.
it didn't work.
It's free. That's what I was trying to explain to them. I wasn't being rude. I was telling them after we tried that. We never. All right, so, you wanna make a motion on the solid waste district policy and procedures manual with the changes?
I'll make a motion that we accept solid waste policy up.
a second.
Public comment. That's quite a bit on Blaine.
Oh, I was just gonna say that if someone will dump their trash out in the national forest, I don't know that they're actually gonna bring it to a dumpster. But the policy there, I had made the changes to page 5 but then also to the last page regarding equipment where I simplified the 2 pages of equipment down to 1 paragraph. I don't know if you're approving the one with the final or the last draft that has this. Okay, all right,
Yeah,
sounds good.
All right, any other public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried and passed. We sign this one, Billy?
Yes,
Where at? Yes,
I think it's on the last page.
I got 2 places.
That's for the employees, fine. Oh, you both say employee, maybe you just motion on it, maybe you don't find, so you're not just take it.
We'll check in on that. All right, so we're gonna move on to Brandon Parrott's dam tenders report. It's $64, $28, $41, $13.08. What's your call on it?
13 months.
Oh, wait. I thought it was lower than that, or,
This very second,
So it didn't do much.
again,
no, I think it was that.
right
cold-
now,
That cold and all that new snow, I think it's just kind of dormant for a little bit, I got. you
at
know,
9:15 at 6428.41.
Yeah, that's what we got.
So
If you're thinking about raising it a little bit. It's snowing up there now. And it's, I drove up there, wow, you got more snow up there than we get down the over valley.
Oh, yeah, we got it. But it was light, probably really light, I mean, lightweight.
I think with, because we don't get the wind, and if we can get that 40 to 50 degrees, you know, we'll start gaining pretty quite a bit now.
So what do you guys want to do?
I was thinking going to 25, but that's just me, I wanna hear what you guys think, I didn't make a motion or nothing, I'm just saying. Looking at what's there, and I've been doing quite a bit of snow and run lately, and you got a lot.
Okay, at my place, depth wise, it's right up there. I mean, it's looking for places to put it.
okay,
But I don't know about moisture.
Yeah,
Well,
it's, yeah, so I guess it's up to you. or-
so looking at the graph, it's staying the same. If that's any indication, it's not going up any higher, it's kind of
Why,
stays the same with the 20 coming out, but you feel that. It's gonna get warmer and you've got lots of snow up there in the last week or so that we should bring more out. Or
I don't know.
your policy, your feelings are that we want. Moisture on the banks, right? At the lake,
We
so
won't what?
moisture to sink into the banks.
that was, I brought that to the table.
No, I just think it's gonna, a lot of it's gonna go into the ground. I don't know. Normally this time of the year, I could tell you, because it'd be either running off or, the creeks would be running where I'm at and whatever, running down the road, whatever. Or just going into the ground, but it won't fall this year, so I don't know. I don't,
So this time of year, this time of year, usually in your area, the creeks are running higher
oh yeah,
than they are, or they.
oh yeah,
about
it
the
did run
same.
off this time.
Anyway.
Hmm?
So I can see your mouth.
So what, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know, I mean, this is a weird year, like I said, we never had a thaw.
Okay, so you're saying 25, you feel 25. And that, well, 25 coming out would probably put more moisture for the creek banks. What's your opinion on this? They're frozen,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't get moisture in the banks.
It'd be appreciable.
Like About from Maxville, it's hard, you get down lower, I mean, we're not getting down there, it's going in, I've just been watching down there, Flint Creek and that, we don't have I mean, it's actually starting to work its way, so. That's my.
Not going everywhere.
The banks and that, you can see it down there, we don't have the ice.
And but I just for the public to know, I was I was asking a comment from Jim Walville, who is a,
So you're talking 25 CFS, is that
put it up to. We're at 20 right now.
20 CFS? That's a
Yeah.
lot of water.
We've been doing 20 for what,
2 weeks,
2 weeks?
and it hasn't moved.
Yeah, it stayed the same.
So it's the elevation of the reservoir stays at
13.08.
We're actually, compared to last year when we were only doing 6, we've got more water in the lake.
Listen, Nick, I can tell you, I've seen pretty good pile of snow in that drain, or what there was last year.
And that's what and I've been going snowmobile a lot more this year, and it's, we got a lot to come. I don't know, that's,
I have a hell of a time keeping that boy in line. Got Blaine on Zoom.
You have what?
Blaine.
Yeah, I'm on Zoom.
We're still on the damn thing, so we'll.
Oh, okay.
With this damn situation.
They could run it through the water, we'll take a few bucks in.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. Right now, we get a little more.
So
Not
you,
covering all the expenses.
you're making a motion 25. I'll second it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Public comment.
Public comment. Blaine,
I was just gonna ask what the estimated inflows are, because you don't want to exceed that right now. But sounds like letting out 20, were you gaining any, or?
Not much.
not much, but we've never had to really, it's been cold, we got more snow.
Well, you can go over and you can have the outflows exceed the inflows, but we need a temporary modification. So you need the,
Where do we have here we go back on that argument over how do we know really how much.
Yeah, we don't know. Paul said, what did he say it was? 20, 25, or
Yeah,
27, or 25?
Yeah.
I don't see how you get an accurate number on the info.
That's what we've said for months. So I guess
but,
you're saying don't go to 25.
well, if you can, if you have a argument that it's 25's coming in on a basis for that, then I think you can. Or we can ask the agencies for the consent.
Paul Talon
Well,
said 25.
we've discussed this before, we can't make a basis on what's coming in, because I don't know how he's coming up with those numbers.
And I think,
So,
so I guess we're motion we stay at 20.
no, I say we stay at 20, I'll go to 25. I thought that was the motion,
That was the
right?
motion, now it goes 25. Let's see what it does for this week.
so you wanna go to 25?
I thought we had to get permission to lower it. I didn't know we had to get permission if we bump it up.
If it doesn't meet the inflows.
What Paul say, how much was coming in?
Paul Talon estimates that 25 CFS is coming in and recommended increasing it, but he wasn't able to come in today. He just texted me that.
So all in favor?
So looking at for 13.08 to full,
But 13 inches.
sorry.
So all in favor?
Okay.
Opposed?
Aye.
Most been carried past. We're gonna move on. We got, next part is, oh, we should have had a couple of minutes, sorry, I got too big a hurry. I mean, we've gone through this before, that. You said we had some people apply for the dam tender job.
I have 5 applications.
Could we put it on for next week so we can get somebody and then, we can play ahead with that?
Yeah.
Oh. You good with that, Blanche?
Yeah,
Yes. They'll close, applications, what?
They're closed.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right, yeah, let's put it on for next week and we'll get into it and see what. Thanks. All right, so we're gonna jump into the update on Rising Sun case. Update and public comment on McKay versus Granite County case, discussion decision. Blaine, you wanna start this off or what?
Yeah, sounds good. Regarding Rising Sun, the county did obtain the judgment against Rising Sun LLC and Jack McLeod, and Mr. McLeod has now appealed that to the Montana Supreme Court. I think very likely the county will win on the appeal, but we will have to go to mediation first again. So that's the latest there. That case continues to go on and on. Any questions on that?
We didn't get it because we were way in the back. Could you repeat some of that, please?
We're moving everybody up here so you can hear better, this, cause they can't hear you very good, Blaine.
Okay, I'll speak up too. Let me know when they're ready.
They're harder hearing,
Bob.
you can come up here better. Hey, you.
Yeah, me. Wait a minute, I'm gonna turn off my phone.
Hold on, Blaine.
We can't hear you.
Okay,
Everybody please sign in. Like a baby, her daycare center here.
Okay, I'll get up here underneath the screen so I can hear you.
okay. So in the Rising Sun case, where Granite County had to bring the lawsuit against Rising Sun and Jack McLeod, the county obtained a judgment after a bench trial against Mr. McLeod and Rising Sun. And Mr. McLeod has appealed that judgment to the Montana Supreme Court. I think it's very likely the county will win on the appeal. But first we have to go to another round of mediation. So that case continues to go on and on. So, but any questions on that case?
I don't think we have anybody here on that case. It's the next one, Blaine.
Okay, all right. Regarding Jim Backay Trust against Granite County, Granite County has filed a motion for summary judgment with the brief, along with affidavits from many members, longtime residents of the area. Also, Jim Backay's attorneys have filed a motion for summary judgment, so we're going to get a response into that. Mediation there a few weeks ago was unsuccessful, but there from that came potentially a possibility of a settlement that could be potentially reached, but we wanted to talk about that here before the commission and get everyone's thoughts before I think the county commission would like to hear everyone's thoughts before we go forward with any attempts to settle.
Will it be the settlement? I mean, I heard
Well-
rumor,
Your name and
Leo Graham, and I was just wondering, Blaine, what would be the settlement? I heard rumor that
Well, go ahead.
he wanted us to compromise for him to keep it closed in the spring and we could use it in the winter and
Well, it's nothing that that Mr. McKay has really agreed to, but would potentially consider that it be be closed in the spring during the boggy season, open in the fall winter, and then to the public, and then the winter would be by snowmobile permits granted by the county, and that he would be given a permanent encroachment permit for his well that's there, and potentially another encroachment. They were also talking about that they would want attorney's fees. That was, they said was 50,000. I doubt the county commission would ever consider 50,000, but it's something they wanted to discuss today and hear from the public.
Play, Bob Steffens.
Yeah,
Snowmobile permit from the county. You mean every time I wanted to take a ride up Browns Gulch, I'd have to come in and get a permit to go up Browns Gulch?
well, I think that, yeah, I wouldn't, I don't think that would be very fair, but it could be potentially where like the county could give them permits out for like 5 years at a time, according to historical use. But the real issue there would be, yeah, in the fine details of that, because if it was limited to 20 permits any winter, that wouldn't be likely acceptable to anyone. Oh, go ahead.
Breaking it down, Blaine, so this, that he knew who was coming through in case there was problems.
Yeah, I think so. I think also the mediator mentioned that probably not snowmobile clubs and so forth, but I would think then if Bob Steffen was granted a permit, or that he would be granted a permit, and that he would have opportunity to have so many invitees that go along with that permit. The other part of this would be that it does remain a county road and county controlled, and so that would be my suggestion in any type proposal, that it does remain a county road.
Okay, I'm confused. I thought we were getting sued because we're saying it's a county road and they're saying it's a private road. And then we have the public saying it's a prescriptive. It could be a
Well-
prescriptive easement. So
Well-
what, may I finish my question? So what you're saying is the mediator wants us to kind of settle out of court, more or less, pay them $50,000, it'd be a county road, but then they could shut it down in the spring and you'd have to get a permit to go across it. Is that what is it in a nutshell?
Well, you're correct in that Mr. Piquet has brought a lawsuit claiming it's a private road. The county has filed an answer saying that it is a county road, and then the alternative, if it's not a county road, that the public has a prescriptive right to it. That's the essence of the lawsuit. The mediator was trying to get the parties to come to some middle ground. The county agreeing that it's not a county road, I don't see that happening. The mediator did look at the problems the county has with the case back in 2010 when the commission named that Tungsten Road and called it a private road. I think that's problematic, but I don't think that it totally is controlling here. I think I think there's still strong evidence that it's a county road, but coming to some type middle ground right now may be a good idea if it's something that would work for the public. But look at this Rising Sun case; it just goes on and on and on, multiple appeals, and so there's some merit to looking at some middle ground, but it doesn't mean that the county has to.
Okay, one response to that 2010 minutes is, in the minutes, comment was made, but there was no motion. And there was no decision made. There was no motion and seconded and carried. It was just a comment.
That's correct. That's correct. But the county also had letters where they actually named it Tungsten Lane and called it a private road in certain letters. And I think that hurts the county's case. I don't think it is, totally wins the case though for Mr. Baquet.
So it sounds like for $50,000.
Yeah, come up here so they can hear you. You stay here.
Jim Walbilly, Blaine. So it sounds like
Hello.
for $50,000, we can get what we had prior to that in 2010 with certain restrictions. So we're buying what we already have.
Paying for his fees.
Well, that's a good point. I would never encourage the county to pay 50,000 in attorney's fees. Maybe there's some amount there that the county could look at, but my advice would be no to the 50,000.
Go to the whole Leo Graham, no, I mean. Are we gonna have a sign-in box there, like the fishing game that we're gonna go through there? It's. Leave it open.
Any other public comment?
Dave Harris, I don't know, this thing like, you give them an inch, they take a mile. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, a little off the tangent, but, Thor Strickland in his affidavit, states, I made sure another gator obstruction was put back in place. It's my recollection that since 2008, the gate or other obstructions consistently existed on at least one end of the road. Totally unproven. Because after 2010, like about 2011, 2012, after that big pine beetle kill, I hauled numerous loads for loads of firewood. For over that same route. For 4 or 5 years. I had a permit for the cut on the BLM, and another party had a permit for me to cut him firewood on the BLM. And I always use that route there, and there was no obstructions from about 2010 till they put that jackleg fence across there, oh, what, a year and a half ago? And then it says it was apparent the roadway had not been used for many years. I've been using that all my life. And it was, that gate went in and then it was gone by parties, I don't know who, it wasn't me. But, that gate was up and then it was gone. I never saw it when it was closed. It had been taken out, time I got. Going through there that 1 year.
And we got another, go ahead, Scott McDonald. You there? Anybody else in here?
Oh.
Whoops, sorry.
Did he go? Nope, sorry, I don't know what happened. Send him another request.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Why don't, just an observation, most of our problems seem to be come from people coming here and realtors. Realtors seem to be causing most of the problems. They're not disclosing what's going on with these old roads and stuff, but they sue the county immediately. Somebody should start suing the realtors. Just a comment.
Thank you. Lane?
Well, I was just gonna respond to Dave Harris and say, yeah, appreciate the comments. I don't know that from the perception I'm getting, I think the public wants us just to go forward with the lawsuit, and that's fine with me. I will the kind of the competing affidavits between Thor, and then we have like approximately 15 fact witnesses who have done affidavits. Likely it's going to go to a trial in June, but that I'm ready and willing to go to trial, and we present our evidence if the summary judgment motion is denied that the county has made. So ultimately this is the commission's decision, but I'm ready to go forward if that's what's wanted.
This is one of the reasons why we're having this meeting today, to get the public comment on it and see how they wanna go after it. That's why we're having this.
I just want to make one more comment on when the county named the street. It actually is a form that when you put power to a property, you have to have a street address. So it was Matt's mapping that assigned, and it was requested from the homeowner. So this was something that didn't even come before the commission. Or if they came before the commission, they signed it without knowledge. There's so much confusion here with the 2010 minutes and then them signing, saying that they had to name a road. He had to name the road, the private owner named it, requested it because he had to get power to his property and he needed an address.
And Bob,
Bob Steffen here again. It appears to me to be a classic example of big money pushing the little fella around. And I think we need to hold our ground.
Wayne. Or is he just on?
Oh, thanks, Bob. Yeah, thanks,
Sorry.
thanks, Bob. Thanks, Blanche. I think Blanche makes good points on that that issue with the county naming that Tungsten Lane, but it was on county commission letterhead. So I'll say it, mistakes were made by the county commission that we're paying the price for now. But I do think I still think the county has good arguments and will likely win at trial, but I can't guarantee anything. I just want to make sure that's clear. I can't predict how the judge will rule.
Real Graham, so if the county loses. And if we wanna keep fighting this, then we'd have to get our own attorney and all that and. Like,
Yeah, if the county loses the county road argument and also the public prescriptive right argument, yeah, the members of the public could get their own attorneys. That would be an uphill battle because the judge would already have agreed that the gates were put back up by Thor Sicklin. But it doesn't mean that the members of the public can't get their own attorneys later on or now. But if we go to trial, I think my plan would be to call all of you as witnesses, and we get the evidence before the judge, so he gets the facts, gets the truth.
Go ahead, Bob.
Blade, it's Bob Steffen again. So, looking way down the road ahead, and if it does go to jury trial, what are the chances of his filing for a change of venue because of prejudice in Granite County towards what he's doing?
Well, one correction, it's right now it's a bench trial just before Judge Dayton. The trying to change venue, that wouldn't happen. They could potentially still try to substitute Judge Dayton out, but if they were going to do that, they would have done that already, likely. So I think we'll be proceeding forward to a bench trial before Judge Dayton. The one expense the county will have is the county has retained a expert surveyor, Barney Howland, who is a very good professional land surveyor. He's also drafted an affidavit, which I attached to our motion for summary judgment. But his latest bill was over $7,000, and we'll probably have another bill of that nature. But that's, there's no attorney's fees. I'm representing the county, so there's no additional attorney's fees, and I don't see a lot of other additional witness costs other than potentially paying some mileage for witnesses to come testify. So I don't think that cost should be the key factor here, but the commission should know what those costs are.
So one comment too I'd like to make. Just for the fact of in this. Court hearing, it has Hans Borgson's comments saying that he did the research and he found that it was a private road. And. Okay, so he did the research, but then our county planner went in and dug deeper. And found a map that stated it was a county road. So we have that information. That we would, and I have a surveyor sitting in here, so.
Yeah, that's correct, Blanche. We have the 1915 county road map. We have, Linda has those in her office. We actually had that old 1915 map. We had it digitized and put in a PDF, and so we're making some headway on getting those maps. So they're preserved, and there'll be strong evidence at trial.
Anybody else have any comments in here?
Randy McClure.
Sorry, I got so blank in here, yeah, this room.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, David and I just, we're in favor of going forward with the trial. So we just wanted to say that much.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Jim and Carol? I seen a flash there. But
I don't see anything.
well, I've been going ahead with it. And it's ain't got to be a.
As Tiny Johnson,
Standard ground, and if we- you know, it's just gonna open up more and more.
as Tiny Johnson used to say, it is what it is. It was what it was. It isn't ever going to be what it was again.
That's not a good thing for us.
You're supposed to be patient.
I'd love to be.
Any other comments back here?
David Harris again, and Jim McKay's, affidavit, it says, in the fall of 2011, the condition of the road was not drivable. That's wrong. When we moved to the property in 2014, at that time, a gate still existed over the entrance from Browns Gulch Road. Wrong. That's not true. Our understanding that there have been continuous obstructions and signs prohibiting public use of the roadway since at least 2008. That's wrong. No, because I was driving that all those years. I mean, that's been in my backyard for 57 years now. And I've been using that road continually. And I'll swear that under oath. That's all I got.
Well, Dave, I appreciate what you're saying, and that just goes the argument of, let's go to trial and have the witnesses testify and get the facts out.
Anybody else?
I appreciate everyone attending.
Dave Harris again, Bill Moe called me this morning, he said he has the COVID. But if you wanted a comment from him, he'd stand by his phone and you could get him on the phone.
Right? Is that number that's on there, Billy, or there's,
I'm not.
I don't know that
certain.
number, maybe
I don't know.
should make the comment now.
You gotta,
I
you
don't,
want Bill's number?
I don't have his number.
Well, here, let's look it up and see what it is.
I think we've got enough comments now where we don't need any more. I mean, knowing that Bill would be going with you to trial to testify is
And then him being a pretty big landowner. up there, too.
I think there's another hearing next week too.
Yeah. but-
Yes, Blaine told me that this morning, that anybody that couldn't make it.
We have to put it on for 2 weeks. So, but this is, hey, we need everybody back.
Second one right here. Is that what you got on the screen?
What's that?
No, it's not,
Okay.
but I'll make sure that he has the times for next
Yeah,
week.
it's April 4th, at what time it is?
The same time, so for 10.
We get everybody come back again for the final one and then give as much support as we can and.
Well, we'll see what the good Lord says.
I think the good Lord's gonna talk to you.
You negative would be.
What?
right?
I think I'm in the same boat.
I'd also say if those that are there today can't make it next week, that's fine. We know how, where everyone stands. So, or at least the commission will know how they stand.
All right, oh, Pinky,
Yeah. Talking about that road up there, I went by it one day and the gate was up and I went by a week or two later and it was down. And then I don't know, I don't think it was, well, I don't know how long it was up, but it wasn't up very long. The posts are up there, but the rails are gone. That's the one time I went up to another time station. And I think that could have been during hunting season, but I'm not positive.
okay. Anybody else?
No,
Well, on that note, hopefully we'll see everybody here again next week and pursue this. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Yep, thanks.
You guys had it gone?
Thank you.
How are you?
Dave, your paper.
I gotta get my partner over here to sign in.
I did.
Well, you didn't use your legal name.
No, but did Nobody knows what the legal name is, right, Chuck? I say nobody knows what the legal name is anymore.
Okay.
Well, I do. This is for
Sorry. I didn't sign it either. You could holler at me.
Okay, I'll go get my hand and I'll pick you up.
I have no idea what my street address.
Don't worry about it.
That's okay.
You know who you
Yes,
are.
sign
Yeah.
your name.
I know where you live.
Bad road. We'll see ya. Thank you.
Thank you. Means we don't have no other public comment on that, are you here for the subdivision?
You guys just take a break till 11 or do you start it?
We can, we can move ahead, things that, I don't know, who else is on this?
I was thinking Linda was probably gonna come down.
You better let.
You could maybe, I don't know if you wanted to move your other stuff forward, though. I don't think,
Yeah, we could.
We don't
do the
have any
inspection of
bonds.
Bonds, stuff, we can be doing that while we're, that's a in-house thing. Sarah, how?
we don't have any bonds. I'll just help you out right there.
All right, means we don't have.
Unless Blaine knows something I don't know.
Do it.
Does Blaine
So-
know?
So the county does have the one bond from Dave Kessler on the padded jail cell.
Oh,
but
okay.
that-
I do have
That's
that. One.
hopefully going to be completed here soon. So that, yeah, but the bond is still valid.
Is that the same one that's for, because I have a copy of one, but that is the I believe it was the one for the dome, and the dates I have on it is. Is it the same one? Or would it be separate?
No, there was a separate bond for the jail cell. I can get you a copy of that if you like.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause we had to have two separate ones being set up.
okay, yeah, so I don't have a copy of that.
That's supposed to be done this week, right? The
I
way
haven't gotten an
understood is
updated.
Plain, right?
Well,
Maybe in or
I don't know if
something.
I don't know if it's gonna be done this week, but I'm hearing it's, yeah, it's gonna be done soon. That's what I'm hearing.
Said he had to get some help to pack in that stuff, and I said, well, if he didn't have enough, maybe a couple of the county guys could help too, just so we can get this thing done.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Can't you use the inmates to help pack in their padded cell?
Why wouldn't
Uh,
Here.
Well, they mow the lawns and stuff in the summer.
Yeah, he
And they
could
wash
get
the
help
cars.
there if he's, but yeah, we just need to get this stuff, so. The rest of the stuff starting to come up, we need to be on top of it.
Yeah, agreed.
I'd still like to see that search and rescue rig out of here. Now the snow's plowed up to the top of it and it needs to be took to the ambulance.
What are we gonna do with it?
Well, we need to figure out who's on the search and rescue.
And they need to get it
They
started.
need to move it, or Scott can move it, because he was the one that was telling us they wanted to keep it, so maybe.
Why does he wanna keep it?
The search and rescue does. I
But it
don't know.
But
doesn't
it
run.
don't run.
It doesn't run.
Mhm.
I think we gotta. In the next couple of weeks, go back to that rapid response thing and consolidate and. And get everybody's opinion. And make an opinion or a decision on that.
So we needed something coming from. If we could take,
503.
forest reserve funds to buy a. Rapid response, as long as it's. Going into the forest and going to the forest too.
You were gonna check on that or?
Well, I talked with Sarah and she kind of, I think, wanted to talk with Blaine. I don't know, Blaine, did she talk to you about it? Whether or not we could use,
We've had some general discussions about that, but if it's mainly for just a quick response for the ambulance, no, it has to be mainly for search and rescue. So that'd be a tough one to get that. Unless it's going to be it could be purchased for just search and rescue. There's funds for that.
No way we could combine those
we
two.
could purchase it for search and rescue and then
Loan it to.
loan it.
Yeah, it just has to come down as being for search and rescue. And but if the main use though is for the quick response that's outside the forest, then that would be a tough one.
I'd say the main use of search and rescue, if we get a decent, or active search and rescue volunteers.
But then they could.
Yeah, no,
But they could loan it to this rapid response thing is gonna be. Not often, it's gonna be, the ambulance is gonna take care of most of it, it's just that extra mile, so. I don't see why.
one thing that if you're designated for search and rescue, like you say, also in talking to the sheriff, the fire department, the firemen are willing to go out on lift assist. I don't know if that got brought up at that one meeting. And then if the county wants to look at Drummond ambulance being shifted over to QRU, quick response unit, that could happen. Just to slight amendment of their bylaws. In fact, their bylaws are probably broad enough right now to allow that.
Well, I think we just need to really sit down and figure what we can and can't do and try to get this moving, because we just keep we're all kind of hesitant on sure what we can and can't. So the only reason I brought that up is just,
Well, I can't see any sense in keeping that thing, if it doesn't run. It's in terrible shape. If we can somehow get something new and better and,
well, that you could actually go get in and use.
yeah,
Holy hell, if you're gonna need to go save, try to help, so how are you gonna get out of it?
yeah,
I mean, the maintenance and taking care of this stuff is not working, whoever's on the people that are on this search and rescue, I think that, like Scott calls this, these people he knows, like Bill Antonelli, Monty Pratt, these guys, they just have their own stuff and they just go. They're not gonna come up here and dig out the snow to take the piece of stuff that don't run, that's my. It just needs a, it's just an eyesore.
On that,
Anyway,
let's get another discussion and.
let's get some prices on, maybe we could find somebody that could actually look at some of these rigs and stuff that are out there that a guy could get that you could, you know. Maybe call Clinton and that, ask him what do they have for quick, you know, and stuff like. I guess we just need to move ahead, we just keep stalling,
Mhm.
right? Is that what you're kind of, Billy?
yeah, on the same note, the sheriff yesterday came in and talked to me because the four-wheeler that he uses over there to plow and everything, it's in really good shape, but it's quite a bit older. It's a 1992 and they no longer make parts for it. So he was wanting to have it put out for surplus. So he wanted me to bring that up to you guys today.
Okay, well, if we do that, this other thing needs to go, I'll make a motion that. Cause I mean, nobody's doing it. Why do we have it in the way, taking up parking? I would want somebody to try to come get me or something. I guess think, yeah.
Yeah, I think we gotta streamline this whole thing, and I don't know. I think there should be another vehicle and we should park it down there in that ambulance garage. So it stays nice and out of the weather.
Yeah.
And if we get somebody interested in doing this, the search and rescue people or whatever, and keep that up, and then, like I say, then you need a rapid response. I don't see why we couldn't just loan or some, you know, make an agreement, it's just loaned out for
And
the rare occasion that's gonna happen.
then maybe they sign off on getting rid of that.
Hmm?
Maybe they'd sign off on getting rid of that if you get them something new.
Hmm.
No, I agree with you totally on this stuff, I guess so, it just seems like we started and it just. Yeah.
Right.
These are the changes that need to be made in the website
Okay,
for the solid waste. Since I'm not in the basement, I'm in the treasurer's office now. And then
To tell you the truth on the search and rescue thing.
if they don't have a unit or an account, then
I
for
think
the
we
pay
could
as you
get more
go, it's
parts. Yeah,
20 cents.
well, rescues and
fabulous.
things like that.
I think I can make
There's
these. If I
people down
can't,
there.
I'll get it over
A
there.
lot of
Thank
recreation,
you.
but there's a lot of recreation here too. And they're doing it all the time, they're every week, there's.
Well, that, you're bringing that up, last weekend, went up to Gold Creek up to Blackfoot again up there. And somebody was having medical problems and they had the, search and rescue rig there and it was nice and it was sleds. I don't know if they were their sled, but they were all medical set up, the truck was ready. And they were headed in to get these people. I kind of looked at the rig. It's.
So,
But there's stuff out there in that state surplus and stuff, they're not new, but yet they're not, there's nothing wrong with them. The person needs to look in that stuff or look on the website for some of this four-wheel drive. Things that a guy could actually have that runs and capable of getting there and. Might have to look in at a couple newer sleds in the winter time, just stuff like that. I mean, the more people moving in here, the more we're gonna have to update.
Exactly.
I know everybody don't like hearing that, but it's we're still, you know, liability is medical and that, and it's nice to help out. I'm sure there's stuff out there that you can go get to help out with that stuff, especially in the medical, that 911 and stuff like that. So that's my opinion.
one thing,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that in that Title III fund is over 400,000. So there's sufficient monies in there if you just want to have it on the agenda to buy something for search and rescue. The one issue though is it's those purchases are supposed to be approved by the RAC, the Resource Advisory Committee, but every time we email them, they never really respond. So we just take that as that they don't have an issue with it. But yeah, if you're gonna buy something with that, then I'd put it on the agenda and yeah, go forward with it.
Well, that's the thing, maybe if we could find somebody or that could actually look on this site and see some, just to have, so we know what pricing and that, maybe, I know it's more work for you, Billy, but maybe if you can get some. Just on some of these state. Like Colorado, once that's where they've got that one rig out of it, but it was only like 30,000, really. And set up ready to go.
Talk to Gallup.
And yeah, people that. And then we can put it on for discussion decision next week and just,
Have an idea.
yeah, then we.
Not much discussion.
Well, if we found something that we could go after, then we could say, like,
Yeah, but we still gotta get interest in people doing it. I mean,
I think we will, you know, you hear more and more.
so let's put it on the agenda to maybe a search and rescue thing and a new rig or something, or
And then I'm gonna put the other
maybe get some
treasures.
interest.
Only reason I said the decision in case if we have to have somebody that said, yeah, we can do this and. You know, somebody come in and I guess we can put it back on again. I just. How about the Great West, are they gonna be on?
Nope, it's just the letter of transmittal for that response to your correspondence that you got last week. Yep. That time sensitive analysis that we did, it's just our response to that and attaching the document Jackie and I did. We just need that signed so we can,
Make a motion and we'll go ahead with, oh, I guess we should wait for Blanche.
Go ahead with this Great West thing.
Yeah. We have to anyway, it's another one of them. We're in. Any public comment? We're kind of moving ahead, Blaine, because we got a standstill here and then we're waiting on Linda and. Can't remember.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I guess I better say that, and then on the. Or not Slate, are they calling in or nothing? It's just
we're
this
just
stuff.
gonna review the new plans. Yep, and if you guys have any comments, I can send them off and. There was some email.
There's one comment that I got from some of this, you know, I don't think they really understand where it's going yet, but we're set in one spot and that's where we're staying at. We're not. Because we putting this money into studying it, it's gonna work there, you need to stay. We get comments now, a few people where you're saying, well, what if you know?
Oh,
That should have been there when we started out, I think why waste the money, let's go with how it's set up.
The courthouse thing.
Yeah.
Would Kessler be putting any comment in on that?
he did. I thought I emailed them to you, did I not?
Well, other than what
Oh,
he wrote down.
You may want to call him, 'cause he had several things he wanted to bring up.
Okay, so if we do it before the 11:20. Or whatever, 11:40, we'll call him and see.
Yeah,
oh, Jen Robinson, are you on?
She is on, yeah.
You have a comment, hit link. Or am I seeing things?
I think
You
you're
said-
seeing things.
Can we ask her?
I can send her an unmute request if you'd like.
Well, if there was something, maybe it would, that thing moves around, it goes in circles.
It depends on who's talking.
Oh. Are you supposed to wait then when,
Mm-mm.
got a comment, Jen? I thought I seen that light up.
Oh,
I don't know which,
No, I don't think so.
let's call Dave, I guess. Is that what you're thinking, Chuck? Call and see what it is. I kind of, he talked to me a little bit, but. You know, he gets
Do you want me to just call him on my cell phone and put it on speaker?
yeah, just have him call in or is
I'll just call him. Make some speaker.
that all right, Blaine?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Hello.
Hi, Dave. I have you on speaker with the commissioners. They wanted to get your comments in your own words on some of that elevator projects, if you have time.
Oh, I thought that was 11:40.
I know we have some dead time, so.
Okay. You planning on coming in at 11:40, because that would work.
Okay, that's fine too then.
If that'd be easier, then we can look at it off the plants and kind of talk about it then, if that's easier. It'd be a lot easier for me to explain it, I think.
Okay, yep, that's fine.
Okay,
All right.
I'll see you, and I can come in, give me 10 minutes, I can come in if that is easier.
They do have something at 11, so.
Okay,
This way.
All right.
I'll be in 11:30ish.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Kind of jump, we just moved on this. It's a letter we have to send back.
Oh,
Guys, a little bit, there was claims, but it's okay. Try and get some of the stuff done, waiting on Linda.
Well, I needed a motion to send this. Make a motion to send this, time sensitive emergency action plan analysis. Quick project.
I'll second it.
If not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And then Dave's coming in at 11:40, 11:30, 11:40. Somebody, there's stuff that we can save money on. I didn't quite understand when you talked to me, but we gotta be careful when you.
This is the, Janine had talked about the concrete out here and getting an estimate. She just emailed me that, so I would just hand it over. You guys look at.
Will we get more estimates, you think?
I don't know. That's what she sent me for the sidewalk and I don't know, was that one you guys wanted to get multiples for, or
How much is it?
16,000?
No, yes, the 80. Oh, my God, yeah. I would not bother with it if he's given us an estimate, would you?
With what?
I'd take it.
Take that.
I
Are
don't
we gonna
think we
get
have
more
to.
estimates on?
I don't think we have to. Unless you want to.
Who is this?
Altered Homes LLC.
Send this to Blaine.
The only thing I'd say is probably put it on the agenda for next week and then you could waive a second and third estimate if you feel like that's reasonable.
Yeah, or it might get done by then. too.
Yeah,
Is it put out
Yeah.
there?
No, not this one, the gutters one was put out there and then it was pulled, right, Blaine?
yeah. Talking to Commissioner Adler, and doesn't sound like they're, well, what are your thoughts on that, Scott?
He just stepped out, so we. could
Okay,
wait in.
it doesn't sound like gutters as is would work. There's no way to attach them. And so it's potentially a futile project, but have to get his thoughts on it. I'm not, yeah, that's above my pay grade.
At all,
It was.
that's why they have the drain things.
Mhm. But yeah, the concrete, I don't think was something that was ever,
It wasn't in the paper.
no, not the concrete.
Does
That was something I think you guys should had her
Kessler know
go get
about
an
it?
estimate.
Does Kessler know about it?
I don't know. I think it's something you guys told Janine to go get estimates for to get fixed.
I think Janine talked to him about it. I'm not sure if he was gonna put in a bid or not.
Yeah, it
Okay,
wasn't
well, we
something
can
that
talk to him
ever,
when he comes.
all right. And it's
Okay,
something
yeah.
next week too. 'Cause I don't think it's something that ever like went out to bid.
Well, and that price range, the county's procurement policy talks about getting three bids. It doesn't have to go out to be publicly bid. But the commission can waive ones if they want. So that's why I was thinking, have it on the agenda next week.
I'm tracking.
What do you think, Scott? That's an estimate for that sidewalk.
Yes, for the front one.
Yeah.
Just for the front.
Yeah,
one.
for right here.
Maybe we
My
should
thought was to put, oh, go ahead.
Maybe we should mention, I talked to Scott, maybe we should mention it to Dave when he comes in. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've been putting on the agenda next week because it's under 80,000, so you don't need to, it's not over 80,000, so you don't have to put it out for competitive public bidding, but the procurement policy talks about getting 3 bid estimates, but you can waive that. I feel like this is reasonable.
I guess that's where not that I don't agree with you, I guess. Here you get a price.
Never need
from
like
somebody
grass
and then
increments or anything.
you gotta put it out, well, that's not fair for the other people.
I'm looking in.
But, and you could put
Because
it out
then
to the public as well.
It's
This one looks a little ratty, but
Document sitting there and it's showing their price. It's not fair for somebody else to try to bid it when, I mean, it's not for these people to put that in.
Well, we don't need to show it to anybody else.
No,
We can just give it back to Billy and she won't go to.
So what's not fair?
well, if these people gave a price on the sidewalk, but you're saying you gotta still put it out for public bid, well, then it's their, they use that bid.
Oh, sure. Well, I thought that
Oh.
put it out public bid had the, you didn't have to.
Well, we don't.
Less than,
Oh, we
You
could
don't.
Correct, yeah, correct, Blanche.
so you fix the sidewalks, so fix for 16,000, fine, that sounds good to me. Why would we
Don't
put
say
it
that.
out for bid?
Well, you just said it.
What that?
I guess I need to put it on the agenda, and then you can talk about it now, but it's, why, you're saying that we have to put it out for 2 more other people?
No.
just get 2 estimates. Waive it. You don't have to officially.
The procurement policy talks about getting 3 and taking the lowest. It doesn't need to be put in the paper. You can if you want, but you could also waive a 2nd and 3rd bid estimate. But just getting on the agenda to talk about that would be a good idea, whether you're gonna waive the 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
This looks like it's already been ripped on.
I seen a little kid in there the other day, Redwood. It was too much work, they were together, wasn't it? Oh, dude. Is Linda here?
I'll call her. Hi, Linda, it's Billy. They're a little early today. All right, thank you. Bye.
There's claim for them trucks is sitting here. I signed it and you guys agree on that last week. And I don't know what they went over, but they didn't bring nothing back because we had to fix a couple things. I didn't want to bring back till everything was fixed. Did he tell you guys this?
No,
I didn't hear you either.
Other problem, he needs to talk. What? All of us.
oh,
Paul, on these trucks, he didn't bring nothing back because they had to work on one, make sure everything's good. He took, because I asked him, well, you bring one home, but I mean, he need, I guess we should have asked him this morning, but I had it covered up here. This is exactly the truth about.
so we wanna go ahead and send it.
Yeah, Paul
We don't send it until he goes back and he'll take a picture.
Always can take it with him.
That way, then he can look and make sure everything was done that's supposed to be done. It's
So,
whether it's
so-
in Oregon, it's like 8
Who do you
hours.
take? Yes.
Anyway, well, we're gonna move ahead, right? I guess we can get that back to Sarah. You guys ready? Few minutes early, Linda, sorry,
It's okay,
kind of pushing stuff today.
that's okay.
Come on up and explain, do we like this one or no?
Yeah, that's
Okay. It seems lately. We
You
like
can
him,
come sit up here.
we like him at first and then we go to hell.
Yes.
That was sort of.
Right, you're a, never mind. Yeah. Mr. Gimpy. Mr. Mending Gimpy.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
So this is one of the lots in Arrowstone. Arrowstone lots were allowed to divide one additional time if they went through subdivision. As long as both lots stayed above 10 acres. Some of them have been a little trickier, because they've been way up on the hill, but this one's right on the flats. It's right up against Delasera's property, so it's right in the meadow area. And the road is in good shape there. They shouldn't need to do any road work. The HOA maintains the road really well there. Planning board didn't have much to say on this one, so,
This one's not gonna come back and haunt us, is it?
well, you could never say no 100%, but the likelihood is very, very low.
Pretty gun shy anymore,
Subdivisions are complicated
getting worse.
most of the time. This one isn't.
Yeah, this one's really pretty basic.
I trust you. What do you?
Yeah.
That's my opinion, so. What do we need to do?
So you guys need to open the public hearing, ask if there's public comment. And then if there isn't, then you'll have to just vote on the subdivision.
So I put it on for next week then?
No, you can do it all today.
Alright, any public comment on the?
Shouters.
Shouters. Shouters.
Okay,
Shout, yes, they're shouters.
one of them baby. Don't look like we have any public comment.
So do we make a motion before we have public comment?
If you have no public comment, close the public hearing and you. Motion.
So being there's no public comment, we'll close the hearing and then we'll make a motion to accept.
This turn, no, just kidding. I'm being silly today because of the snow.
You got any comments on this stuff?
No. You know, it's pretty basic.
Okay, You wanna make the motion?
I make a motion that we accept the Shaw's division subdivision subsequent minor subdivision.
With the 15 conditions. Right?
Yes.
My second.
Public comment on the motion? Means none, all in favor?
Aye.
Right. Motion carried pass.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
We'll
Is
send it.
it, it's not ready to sign or is it ready?
It should,
I
I'll
will
send
write
it
a
out
letter.
today, but
We'll
yeah,
put a letter together.
I'll try to get it down to
And then,
you.
if you can give me that signed letters, you can, because we have pending a
Yeah.
DEQ approval, but they won't do that until they have the letter from here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why do they wait on us? Shouldn't they be in it?
Because there's a possibility of public comment having to do with sanitation issues at this hearing. So because of that, DEQ wants to look at that. Whatever comment happened in the hearing, obviously there wasn't any.
But if they deny that, and then it comes back here, or what, why don't they?
If DEQ denies it, then it's dead.
yeah,
It's, you guys approved it, but it'll never be reported.
that's kind of where the Flynn is a thin addition. Is, you know, the little one in town. That's where it's at. It's stuck because DEQ got it permanently on hold. So, I mean, I think they gotta be 6-7 years out now.
So because,
Cause the town doesn't have capacity,
oh,
so the DEQ won't go ahead and give them approval, and without that, they're just sitting there.
so capacity for the sewer system?
Linda, who was the consultant that did that, or was it a landowner?
It was a combination, gosh, I can't think of. Spencer Boyd, they live in the world, but yeah, that one has been something else.
They should have known better.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, well, I'll send you down the stuff. Thank you for all you do, Linda,
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
and you too.
Thank you. Oh, don't thank me for everything.
I wouldn't. You're walking pretty good, though.
Not bad for 3.5 weeks.
I just get nervous on these anymore, cause it seems like it. All of a sudden they try to slip some little thing in like that other one she was talking about, you know, they're trying to move it.
He's on top of it. She's on top of it, so we're lucky to have her. For the
Now
record.
we're just waiting on the late architecture update courthouse. I'm reviewing it.
He said he would be here.
Okay,
around
so-
7:30.
Are we on that? We're waiting for that.
We're waiting for that. That's
We're
what I-
way,
Yeah, we got that public thing on the bouquet stuff went faster than I thought it would.
Lot faster.
Oh, we got somebody here.
Hey, they just finished your thing. Yeah, you are all good to go, Olivia.
Are you in on the subdivision?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
No, sorry.
I pushed it.
No. I've never been to a commission meeting. It was sort of a mixed use also, just.
Get out of your
She
office.
said it's all pretty cut and dry and everything good, so Linda's upstairs, if you want to talk to her, or
Okay.
that guy, what's his name?
That
Ken.
must be what Ken is out there. Okay,
Yeah.
What's his first name?
And
Ken. Ken.
Yeah.
thank you.
the surveyor.
Yeah.
Who was head of the Montana Stockholders Association, and Willie Bott was head of the pool growers. And through that, I came to work with the legislature. I had no idea an individual person would come up here and testify. You talk about local control. And I got to come up here and by golly, that. At that point, Tom Perez was a lobbyist too for his own areas, environmental.
Yeah, take a break.
Like agriculture. And so
Back on for the Granite County Courthouse elevator and ADA upgrade. Dave Kessler's here. You had some comments on this?
Well, if you look at the map.
You mean the floor plan?
Yeah. Where do you go?
Can't find them now.
Yeah. Floor plan. They're taking steps out down here coming in that north door, and I think we're gonna have a problem with that, because that chokes you down from 8 feet wide to 4 feet wide.
But when we were there, they were measuring and saying that it still meets that. Right, wasn't that when we was talking about right here where they're narrowing it up, it still meets the specs of coming in.
It'll probably meet specs, but what are we gonna do there? You can't take out 2 steps and you start walking down the steps and the last 2 are missing.
Well, I don't think they were.
No, they're moving it over.
They were still gonna run them out. They weren't just gonna completely take it out.
Well, these steps are gone. You know, they take out a couple of steps, they take the last steps out. So we're gonna have to do a wall here. And then I don't know how you're gonna make that look decent, get steps going down to a wall. That, and the reason they're doing this, they've got the mechanics for this elevator against that north wall. If we move it to the east side of the elevator shaft, it would still work. And that would eliminate the need to do that, and that would buy us more room inside of that sheriff's staircase. That'd get us a lot more room there.
Can there, way we can talk to them?
We can,
I don't.
So this here, right here, is this a little hallway? Kind of, sort of?
that's the door coming into the building.
Okay, here's the door, right?
Yeah, that's that, you know, you walk in and it's flat and then you start up the
Yeah.
steps. So what they're doing is taking out half of the steps, the whole left half of the steps, but they're only taking the last 2.
Do you think there'd be a
So,
big drop down?
well, you know, you can't have 2 different planes of steps, it'd be all cockeyed, you'd have to put a railing up between them. I guess you could do that, split the steps, but then you've got the structure to mess with underneath. I think that's gonna run into a lot of money.
I think the way they were moving it over and we was looking at it up there was all that plumbing and stuff, that's kind of why they were doing that shot up through there, so they didn't have to move a bunch of that heat and plumbing stuff. Now, I'm trying to remember.
Well, they're still gonna have to move it.
Yeah, they'll still have to move quite a bit of stuff. And this would be the sheriff's, you know, treasurer's office level. That looks okay, but we'd still buy more room into here if we move the workings to this side. I think it's gonna be easier to move that little bit of plumbing and heating, you know, that copper pipe moves easy. Cut it and join it and move it over, and that's simple. The bathrooms, where the women's bathroom is now upstairs, that works, there's nothing wrong with it. If we take that sink out, you know, I just redid the floor in there, reset the toilet, that's solid, there's no reason to move everything over here. If we take the sink out of where the toilet is now and move it to where this toilet is, make this their handicap stall, that's gonna cheapen that by probably $20,000. And what they're not taking into account here is, you know, these aren't truss floor joists, these are old school boards, like 2x16s or 2x14s, whatever they are. You start boring holes through that to run 4-inch drain pipe, you just lost your structure. So they're gonna have to drop all of the plumbing below the suspended ceiling in this office over here. Drop it down, rehang the ceiling, redo all of that. Or revamp the plans. If we just took the sink out of the ladies' room,
Okay, so here's where the toilet and the.
Yeah,
sink is.
take this sink out, put 2 sinks here. And 1 toilet here, and you have a toilet here and make this a handicap stall and then have 2 sinks right here. That makes a lot more sense from a plumbing or construction standpoint.
That simplifies it a bunch. And where they're putting the judge's toilet in where all of the communication stuff is. There's probably 300 wires coming into that room that they're gonna have to reroute somewhere else to put a toilet in there. And they turn this into storage, they take the second sit down out of the men's room. If they just move the judge's bathroom to where they're putting their storage, there's already a toilet. Right here, there's already a toilet, so all we have to do is turn that toilet around and put it right here. And then the judge has his own private bathroom and leave this alone. Would lose this bit of storage, but with an elevator going all the way to the fourth floor. We got this
They can
storage, we got
access,
this storage,
yeah.
we got this storage. We got storage everywhere, and moving those wires, I'm not an electrician, but I guarantee you that's gonna be 30-40 grand to move those wires and all that. Computer stuff.
Well, if you guys are agreeing, maybe we could have Slate come in and have that guy come back, he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
And then sit down with him and go over the plans with him,
Yeah,
and have him here. Because I see what you're saying,
Yeah.
I wouldn't notice it, why.
So we haven't finalized these, right?
No, so that'd be something maybe we could get him on the agenda next week or 2 weeks or whenever
Yep,
he can make
try to
it.
coordinate.
And then we can walk up there and look at everything again. And have Dave here and say, yeah, if you do, what if you did this? Instead of doing this, wouldn't it be, you just need somebody that knows what they're doing, I don't.
I don't know.
And I'm happy to help out on it, whatever
If
works.
it's gonna save us $100,000 break, just say. And we give him some for his time and stuff, just to, for stepping in and helping like this, I'm just throwing shit out now.
Whatever works, I'm happy to help out. The other issue with putting the judge's bathroom over that hallway is then we've got to redo that hallway ceiling because you can't run the plumbing through the floor. So we're gonna, the way it's working, or the way he's got it drawn will work, but that's the long way around the barn. As far as the expenses go, that's gonna be a lot more expense.
What's this guy's name again?
Scott Cromwell.
Yeah,
Mhm.
nice guy. I like him.
Would you care if he called him and asked him about some of that movement, so we're kind of all on record when he comes in, or if he can get on Zoom or whatever? So we don't know.
No, I think-
Whatever works.
Yeah,
Dave asking this stuff, and then have Dave come back, and then Scott to be on, and we don't have to pay him to come here, and
Have Dave talk to him before, so, yeah, so.
Yeah, and I can run to Helen and visit with him. That's not an issue. We can go through everything in his office and then I can come back and report.
get guys.
Yeah.
I think cause I don't know anything about this, I can read it now, but now you're showing it, I'm.
And the reason that men's room's elevated up there, I'm sure, is because they couldn't cut through those joists to run all the plumbing. So they raised that floor to run all the plumbing above the old floor
And he
rather
did-
than drop through and run it across.
He did say something about that. Floor raise there, or something he brought attention, they'd have to cut and see if they could even, he did say that. And that's what Shavine was saying, well, this is,
I'm sure that's why they raised that floor, because that bathroom's newer than what the original building was. So last time that got remodeled, I'm sure they raised that floor and ran all the
You
plumbing
have
on
one
top.
of
I've got, yeah, Blaine sent me a email.
so this right here is all the.
Yeah, we can walk up there, there's the bathroom and
Yeah,
then,
I know.
okay, there's a window right
And
here
this is
looking out
the-
and that's just stacked with computer stuff. I haven't been up there for a while. I'm not a computer guy, but that looks like a complicated mess to try to move all of that. Not only that, but then you got the issue of running the plumbing.
Yeah.
We can pop through the wall to get his sink, but to put his toilet in. There isn't a drain over there, because the elevator shaft would wipe out the drain for that. So,
I don't know how this works, man, but I just soon compensate you and have you kind of be an overseer to see like this stuff, because I don't give a shit about it. I don't know how that works, Blaine. Blaine,
Well, I think if Dave's a hired consultant on the courthouse project, it would preclude him from bidding on it, I think.
Yeah,
So that's an issue.
Well, how do we make this work? But I mean, if we could have, I mean, he brought this to us and that could save us this much money, how do we make this work?
Well, and I don't bid on it. I don't have a crew to build something like that. You know, if I do it by myself, I'm gonna be 5 years trying to
Yeah.
finish it. So,
right. Oh,
I think this is a bigger one than I couldn't get the bonding for it. I haven't got the bond experience. So,
Could a guy like we just talked about, Blaine, and have something to help out on this, where, or are you guys, I don't know. I'm glad.
So, yeah, okay, I'm seeing where you're at here. I see the plumbing issue. Where moving it around would solve it, and I don't think we really, we let them figure it out.
Yeah,
And,
we did.
and they thought, okay, we're just gonna put them, we're gonna make them look pretty, so we'll put them side to side instead of looking at. Where, okay, we could save money by having one here and one here, doesn't have to be pretty. I mean.
well, and it's historical and it's worked for 100 years, so.
Yeah.
And why monkey with it if it's,
Yeah.
And then on the other note, I think where it helps, having you've been up there and you've been into most of the shit here in the last year or so, you know what's up there in the ground and where I'm not a carpenter,
I've got the experience. If you wanted to hire me to oversee the whole project. I'd be happy to do something like that. Make sure that, you know, they're doing their job right, whoever gets it to put it in.
Might be a good idea.
I'm for that, cause I mean, we can go up and look and they can feed us full of bullshit and, you know, and that's it.
So, but isn't the architect the contractor, so to speak, that oversees it?
Yeah,
No.
they do come back to oversee the contractors. I thought he said that they come back to oversee the contractor.
So it's the
So-
architect,
so-
that over- make sure they're doing it correctly.
But if we don't understand what they're doing, they can like this here, where if we can say,
Then we ask the architect, please explain to us.
but I mean, we wouldn't know this until.
And I guarantee you, I've worked with enough architects, he's not gonna know what he's looking at. Architects draw things on paper and builders actually do the work. That's why I don't get along with very many of them, because they'll draw it on paper, it never works the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, it's just kind of like a couple of them roof projects, if we had had somebody knowing what they're doing, and they would save thousands and thousands of dollars, but we just went by what.
Yeah, if we hired him as a rep, I mean, I think it'd save a lot of money.
You wanna talk about that rough now, or?
Let's stay on, it's not on the, yeah, I mean, we can here in a minute, but we're still on there.
Okay,
That's something that we need to maybe talk, maybe he could talk to Scott first. And then just see what their feelings are and you know, go from there. First, and then like maybe next week or something, we can have them on there.
And they might have reasons why they're doing it this way over and above why they did it.
possible.
Yeah, I mean,
They can talk it over,
Yeah.
they both, you know.
Yeah. As far as cost goes, everything I'm seeing is it's gonna cost a fortune to do it the way they've drawn it.
and that can be brought up.
That's the main thing, we wanna save money, but we want it done right with the. You know, they gotta have it, I don't wanna get in this with replacing stuff that we should have went after the people who did it before, now we're spending money on other stuff that we shouldn't. Right, I don't. know. Blaine,
Oh, I was just, I think it's already really been covered, potentially having Dave be a liaison if needed, but, you know, potentially talking to Scott Cromwell next week or 2 weeks, and then you could decide on that issue.
well, I think that's, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest thing is just have, maybe Dave talk to them first, and then he can see why they're doing this, why they're doing that, and he can come back and. Then we can have Scott on a Zoom or whatever, I hate Zoom, you know that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
You all right with that one? What's your?
Well, I'm just thinking, okay, yeah, I understand. Where he's coming from, and he's making very good points, and he's brought it to our attention. And I think that what bringing it to our attention in itself is is really good, but I think we need to take it to the architect and say, hey, it's come to our attention. I don't think we need to step on any toes by saying, well, we have Dave Kessler doing this and he says to
Oh,
do
I
it
see
this
what-
way,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
is what I'm saying.
I don't think it's step on his toes, and I'm not trying to get any kind of job out of it, I've got plenty to do, but. You know, I walked through the building with him and showed him most of it to start with, so. You know, he emailed me when he emailed Blaine and asked what we thought about this or that or whatever, so.
Could we, send him a letter and ask him if he'd have a problem if we have somebody who's kind of just asking about the plans or what's this about that, so it don't look like we're trying to step on toes, is that better?
I don't know why it'd be stepping on toes, like, you kind of look at it like that, but still, we're hiring a person we trust, and to know, because we don't know.
We also contracted with this architect,
Well,
and I think we need to get an opinion from them. Instead of going over their head and saying, okay, well, we've decided we're gonna get this other person's opinion. And deal with it. I don't think that's right.
no,
I don't think that's
it's
right.
two different things.
Well, it's
What is
essentially
it?
like you hire an architect and then the architect and the builder talk back and forth and hammer out the final
Yeah,
plan.
you got an architect, you got a builder, and like you said,
And then you'd have to be the builder if you put your bid in, so there,
Well, it excludes me from bidding if I act as the builder in this, so. I'd just be the county's representative to make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck is all I'd be doing. Wouldn't be stepping on toes, it'd just be going back to Scott and saying, hey, what if we do this different and this different? Because it looks like it's gonna save a lot of money from an experience perspective. This is gonna save, 20 grand on this remodel, it's gonna save 10 grand here. You know, and if he's got legitimate reasons for that, I'm not gonna step on his toes.
It's kind of like what we did on that one bridge, we had Great West, but then we had that other bridge, Bill Phelan. He comes, well, why don't you lay this way and that? And then
Yeah.
Just.
I'm not familiar with that, but it just,
well, let's ask the architect guy and
If
just
it's
see,
all right, if we had him asking.
let's say we don't want to cause trouble, but we really don't understand.
and I can just give him a phone call and make it less official if you wanna do that.
Let us call him
Okay.
first.
yeah, I
Sure.
think so, yes.
Yes, we could call him.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think it would be up to us.
Oh, definitely, yeah, you guys have
Say,
to find and say,
It's
absolutely.
Come to our attention and
We could call him right now and ask him if this would be all right if we let Dave.
Yeah.
Ask him question, make sure we don't step on, I totally, yeah.
Yeah, I don't wanna be in the middle of a fight.
No.
Enough of them.
Yeah, enough of us.
Yeah.
Can we call him, Billy?
Yeah, I'll give you his cell phone number. Or you want me to just call him on my cell phone?
Well, if we get that damn thing to work.
Okay, it's 406. 459-1768.
I can see it this way if we can get.
1-406-459.
459.
1768.
1768.
Scott. I guess this way.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please try again.
Okay,
I hate our phones.
where's this at?
I think it's in Helena.
Okay, so still have to do 1. Okay, say it again, 406
459
459
1768.
1768.
This way they can kind of talk and we can bring it back to us and. Hey. Why do we all get books like that? Why do we all get books like that? I can't have one.
It's a law. Mhm.
Hello, this is Scott. Sorry, I missed your phone call. Please leave me your name, number, and a brief message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hey, Scott, this is the Granite County
At
Commissioner.
the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Scott, this is Granite County Commissioners. Could you give us a call? We had a couple questions for you on elevators and ADA upgrades. We're in session right now. You can call us right away, please. Thank you. 859-7022. Bye. Does he have a work phone or is this, or? Now you got her ringing.
Call him again, he'll get the point.
Yeah, there's an office phone number too, if you want that.
We might as well try it while we're all here and then that way we can move ahead.
Okay. 1406 457 0360.
0360.
Slate Architecture, this is Megan.
Hi, this is Granite County Commissioners. Is Scott Cromwell in?
Once he just stepped away from his desk. Let me see if he's available. I'll transfer you over there right now.
Okay.
Thanks.
This is Scott.
Hey, Scott, this is Granite County Commissioners. I just left you a message on your cell. Think we had a couple questions on this courthouse. We got the plans in front of us.
Sure.
How would you feel if we had a contractor ask you a couple of questions? We're not trying to step on feet or piss you off or nothing, but there's a couple things that could save us money or blah, blah, blah.
Is that Dave?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we just want to make sure it's good with you. You know what I'm trying to say?
Sure. Yeah, and two things is to bear in mind. One, cost, like you talked about. The second is code. So we gotta make sure we're meeting code as a public facility. So those are the kind of the two things, but yeah, no, go ahead, Dave.
yeah, the biggest thing with the judge's bathroom. In that storage room, if we put the bathroom where you've got it drawn, that's taking out all that comm center. In that storage room. It looks like that's gonna be pretty costly to move. And there's already a toilet where we're putting a storage room. We're taking out of the men's room. If we put the judge's bathroom in that storage room space. I think that would save us a ton of money. And then in the ladies' room, we're taking out the existing toilet. And putting 2 sinks in there. I think if we take the sink out of that room instead of the toilet. Then it'd open that room up more. And then put a double set of sinks where the east lady stall would be. Put a new handicap stall. And sinks along that north wall.
Yeah, I have to look at it. We struggled with that one on just line of sight. Concerns there. So when somebody opened the door.
Well, there's a door on that already. There's a big wooden door that they've used for, since they built it.
Right, and I can't remember if that meets, if it's that 36 door on that, I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, I have to look back at it.
But either way, it's gonna be cheaper to put a door in than move that toilet and reform everything, because the way the plans show. It takes that door out, takes that wall out and opens that up to just 2 sinks. So if we take that lab out of there and put a bigger door in, that's gonna save us a pile of money.
Yeah, we'll just have to look at it.
Okay.
Because it's again, based on clearances for ADA, and now we're up to a 67-inch circle from 60. And so that is where it kind of fights us a little bit.
We wouldn't be grandfathered in on that one where it's existing,
No, because we're updating that.
the whole bathroom, or just updating a new part.
Just the new stuff we're doing. Yeah, so anything new has to come up to the current code.
Okay, so if we left,
Side of it.
so if we left that one alone, it wouldn't be new, so it could stay existing.
As long as we have ADA accessibility somehow in there.
Well, they don't all have to be ADA, do they?
They do now, yep.
All of the toilets do?
Yeah, the only toilet that doesn't have to be ADA is if it's a private toilet within an office. And so, like, if we were to put a toilet inside the judge's chambers, that wouldn't have to be ADA.
Okay, so that's for new construction. So if we left the existing toilet in the ladies' room, that's not new construction, so that would work, but the new toilet we put in would have to be ADA. Correct?
Yeah, and if you
Okay.
remember back when we first started, we kind of left that bathroom as it was, and we created a second one right next to it.
Yeah,
For the men's, and so, yeah, that was the idea.
okay. The other issue I'm seeing with moving all the plumbing around and all the bathrooms around is, you know, that's old 2x14s joists under there. We
Yep.
start hogging holes through that, we're gonna lose our structure there.
Yeah, and we would have to sister where we could.
Well, I think we're gonna have to drop through that floor and go into the ceiling or in below the ceiling of the room below it.
Right.
So, you know, we've got a lot of expense into doing that, lowering that next ceiling and all that. So I'm thinking if we simplify these bathroom plans and save a lot of money that way. That's kind of my big questions. The other one is the workings on the elevator. You've got on the north side of the elevator itself is the, looks like the winch cables and all that. If we move that to the east side instead of the north side of the elevator, I don't think we'd have to cut into those steps at the landing.
Yeah, we can't. We've worked with 3 different elevator companies and probably 6 different elevators to try and find something that's gonna work. And so that's the one that we've landed on between everybody that's gonna do the job.
What's the hang up there? Why couldn't that bulwark go on the east wall? Or the east side of the shaft,
So east side of the shaft.
opposite the door, you know, you've got it on the
main
north.
floor.
You've got it on the north side against the exterior wall. What would be the,
Okay, so start at the basement. Does that one make sense? So it goes to the south, door opens on the south. And then on the main level, it opens to the west.
yeah, I'm talking about the controls. Looks like all the controls are on the north wall.
Yeah, that's just what the elevator company said to do.
Okay, if we can move that to the east wall, we won't have the issue with clearance on the steps coming in and out.
How do the doors open then?
There's one to the west and one to the south. So we've
Yeah,
got,
that's how it's set up now.
yeah, we've got the north and the east walls that we could put that controls on. So if we move the controls to the east wall, we wouldn't have to mess with that historic staircase. It would preserve, you know, historic preservation stuff, and it'd also make that a lot,
Yeah.
it's gonna look a whole lot better than having stairway come down to nothing or to a wall.
So let me ask you this, when you come in that north entry, how do you get on the elevator?
Turn left, go east and step right in.
Oh, so you're moving the whole elevator over.
No, I'm just moving the controls. Or not the controls, the cable system. The physical part of the elevator that makes it go up and down, you've got that drawn on the north wall. And we're taking out some of the steps on the north entrance.
Yep.
So if we move that physical controller that makes it go up and down to the east wall of the elevator to the north,
Right.
we wouldn't have to mess with those steps. It would-
Yeah, and we went back and forth. So the issue there is we can't get people on the elevator. Because we can't get the doors open with those steps in the way. Because there's only about maybe 30 inches on that landing.
Yeah, but if we move the elevator back to the north, move the controls back to the east wall, that would open that up to where it would work, the way the plans are drawn, unless they're not drawn to scale.
No, the updrawn scale.
Yeah,
Actually.
so that would move it enough to where we could use it and keep the steps.
We can't. We tried that. And so that's how we can ask them, but that's the elevator that they gave us with that control package on there. How that works.
Who's the elevator company, just out of curiosity?
I don't remember which one that is. I have to go back and look.
Okay,
We went through about 4 of them.
okay. So if they agree to these plans, are they stuck using that elevator contractor, or can they hire? Whoever gets the bid, did they get to pick the contractor for the elevator, or did you already do that with the plans?
No, we haven't picked anybody. We can't pick anybody.
Okay,
But we just can't find an elevator that's gonna shoehorn into that space it needs to.
okay,
Go there, and this group was kind of the next group that said, oh yeah, we can figure out something.
okay. Yeah, you don't remember who that was?
I have to go back and look. off the top of my
Okay.
head.
All right. Those were my main concerns, I think, Plumbing's gonna be a bugger. It's gonna be expensive to redo it how you got it drawn. I think we can
Yep.
shave some corners and save a pile of money that way.
Yeah, the first round didn't have us touching that men's bathroom at all because of my concern with the plumbing.
Yeah,
And that wasn't the direction that the commissioners wanted to go and Blaine, so that's why you're seeing what you're seeing now. So
What-
plumbing is gonna be expensive, you're right.
what would it be possible?
So, can I cut in a little bit? I think maybe it might be best if this conversation was, maybe if Dave could call directly and talk to Scott, that might work best.
Sure.
What's
Yeah.
the difference? So we can hear, Blaine, I guess that's why we're doing this, because I don't understand these.
Well,
I'm-
yeah.
They're talking and I'm getting more out of it right now.
Yeah, me too.
I guess they, I mean, he can still, if Scott's okay, he can call and talk to him, but right now we're just kind of trying to figure out what he showed us.
Yeah, I just say, I think we're kind of putting Scott Cromwell on the hot seat where we, could potentially, work out a few of these things on the side, then talk about it next week. But yeah, if he's feeling comfortable with that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. I agree. with
Yeah,
that.
and I'm totally fine answering any questions that you have, but.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be confrontational at all, Scott. Please don't get me wrong.
Oh, no, no.
Just asking
I'm not
questions.
taking it that way at all.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, no, and I know you have a long history there, Dave, so.
Yeah,
Your input is valuable.
yeah. Just one more question. What would your thoughts be on separating the plumbing out from the elevator and doing it on a separate project? Do you
Well,
think that'd be a better way to go, or?
It would be up to the commissioners to make that decision. It would still, just for the permit aspect of it, would want to be probably one project. And then from there, I mean, let's just take you, for example, say you just want to tackle the restroom side of it, and not mess with the elevator. You could just do that, just put in a bid for the bathrooms, or you could put in a bid for the whole thing and then just sub out the elevator. We've seen contractors do that too.
Okay,
Well, hope you didn't feel, I wasn't trying to put you in a thing. Sorry if I did, Blaine, but I didn't understand some of this thing.
No, that's good for the commission to have their questions answered. I just wanted to make sure that, Scott Cromwell was fine with that. So that's good.
We first called him and I just,
Yep, no, that's all good. The only thing that I was never in the room where the comm center is. I don't think that door was locked. We couldn't get in there when we scanned. So which room is that?
that's where you got the judge's bathroom going in, and it's got racks of,
Okay.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
servers and tons of wiring going in and out. I think that's
Okay.
gonna be extremely expensive to try to move all of that.
what would your feeling be if that Dave did talk to you on your own and that, and then maybe you could come back over and we could go over with all of this again and make sure we're all on the same page and understand it, so we're not
Sure.
trying to put you in a predicament.
Sure. No, that's good. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Okay. Are you guys good with that?
Yeah, as long as we understand that it's the architect and he knows what's up to specs and we're not gonna throw it in there and say, well, we're gonna have our person do it differently. That isn't the intent.
I don't think we can do that.
Yeah, it'll have to go through the state of Montana.
Right.
Department,
Right.
So they'll go through their code review.
Right.
Just same like in ours, so
Yeah.
we're at their mercy on that side of it.
Do you think maybe 2 weeks you can come back, you guys can talk about this and do a little back and forth, and then that way we're not putting you at a time thing. Just so we all understand and
2 weeks, I'm out.
3 weeks.
Is that, so that would that be the 18th?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, the 18th would work.
okay,
Okay.
we're gonna try that then, and then you guys can kind of
Sure.
touch bases back and forth and
Sure.
check
And
on the codes and that. I wanna just make sure, yeah, we got both by what, you know.
So one question, the process of this is to approve your floor plans and then we go forward. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we want you to be comfortable with everything.
Okay.
Sign off on it before we really I do want to get the engineers in to look at everything too. Actually talked with them about that this morning. So find the time, so I might actually see if on the 18th, they could join me.
Okay, good.
All right, well, I appreciate it, and, yeah, I just hope you didn't think we were trying to
Oh,
find you something like.
no,
I don't understand a lot of this.
And I'll try to email you some pictures or text you some pictures of that calm room, Scott, so you can see what's in there. I'll try and get that done today if I can.
All
yeah,
right.
no, thank you. It's been a struggle to find an elevator, that's gonna do the job. And so we've worked over some elevator people pretty hard. To try and get something to work in there, so.
Sounds
yeah.
good. Well, we'll move ahead and you guys will BS back forth a little bit and
Okay,
get stuff, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
sounds
Scott.
good, you bet. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Where's the hang up button?
I don't know.
That's the redial button.
I'll try and get up there next week and visit with him. And go from
Yeah,
there.
so your suggestions to him are that suggestions, and if it can't work, if they see no, we can't do it, then we'll just have to proceed with what.
But it's good, I mean, it wouldn't be no difference in you and me or Chuck building a house and we look at stuff and engineer a house and then we say, well, maybe why can't we put this, you know, it's all second opinion better than just agreeing on it. Even if we save 10 grand, something better than nothing.
So if we put it on the agenda to maybe hire him as our rep. Or liaison, so
I don't care how you do it. You can figure out what you want to do.
20 hour liaison.
You guys call it.
Okay.
I mean, even when they're in progress of building it, I mean,
Well, it's the thing, we
don't look at me.
Don't look at me, cause it'd be something really, let's talk about it first and see what we
Right.
can do and then see where if we can, even we'll have to ask for blame and whatever, just to make sure that we're doing it right, not have to put it out for bid or something else. You know, at least, yeah. But it's
So I guess with procedure, the architect does plans. Then what, we hire a contractor, which you wanna hire him to oversee the plans, or what? And then follow through with getting all the contracts out, or does the architect find the contractors?
I think the architect said he finds, because they're talking with the elevator people, they do all that, and we can just be a side person, just make sure that somebody's watching, so we don't end up like.
Well, and he's dealing with our elevator guys that he knows. I know one in Helena that said, oh yeah, that's an easy job. So I come in there and do that for, he said 110 grand. And super easy, piece of cake, you know, and that's just talking to guys in the shop. So I don't know, I haven't got official plans for him, but I don't think it's as complicated as what it sounds. I've never done an elevator before, but I've done a whole lot of construction in the last 50 years, and it's not generally as complex as it sounds.
I think they gotta follow so many codes and rules and everything.
Yeah.
That's why it costs so much more too.
And this guy I talked to, he works, he said most of what he's doing is on Malmstrom Air Force Base, so he's meeting federal code, not just state code, so. He's definitely qualified to do the job, definitely has the facilities, equipment, all that.
There's something to ask on some of this stuff, why they do it. I mean, it's not that we're judge or saying nothing about this stuff. but
And
if
before
we
we,
don't ask now, then I think we should gets it in, and we say, why the hell didn't we do this? Why
Yeah.
didn't we do that? I mean, it's better now than too late. I mean,
and all I'm doing is throwing ideas out there, I don't have a final say in this, you guys do, if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell me take a hike. If you like it, then that's okay. So far, I haven't been paid anything for this, and I'm okay with that, so I'm just trying to help the county out, because I don't want to pay more
No, that's,
taxes.
something- see that you see this and you're offering your opinion, and that's great.
That's all I'm doing.
And it wouldn't be a full-time job either, it'd just be kind of come and check every, few days or something. I mean, that's just, because they don't need.
They don't need a babysitter.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, or you hired the wrong
Get
company.
much done and it'll cost us more in the long run, but.
Yeah.
If somebody comes to, oh yeah, they're doing good here and explain what they're doing. That's just an option, we need to talk about it.
It's no different than a homeowner walking through their house that's getting built and asking questions. Only I'd have to be the county's representative, so somehow I'd have to be hired or employee or whatever. I don't know what that would take Blaine to be the guy for that. Just somebody that looks at it and that will miss the joint completely, redo it. You know, that's all I'm trying to offer you. Hopefully save some money and some grief.
So I guess on that,
What-
we can talk about that other next week and then we can move ahead.
Blaine,
Wayne?
Yeah, that sounds good. I was just gonna clarify that once the final plans are done, it goes out to public bid for the company to do the elevator work, and the plans could potentially preclude some elevator companies from bidding. So that's something to consider. And I think in looking at this, I don't know that considering what Dave's talking about, I think it's more of a consultant role that Dave would meet with the commission and talk with the commission versus I think overseeing the actual work done and stuff like that. But that'd be a commission's idea on that, and it'd be an independent contractor.
I understand that, I guess I didn't.
Yeah.
Any changes or anything, it'd have to come through us anyway. I mean,
Yeah,
he-
correct. Yeah, correct.
Say, well, what about this? And yeah, no, I understand that.
Okay.
All righty, well, on that note. Anything
The-
else?
There's the issue with talking with Ace Roofing about the warranty issues with the roof.
Go
You want,
ahead. It's
do you want
not
to talk about that next
ahead.
week?
They're still under warranty. When I talked to Dave the other day, I got thinking more and more back to two contractors on them gutters and that. I remember him saying that wouldn't work. I forgot all about that, but. That roofing, they said they'd be good on it, so I guess we need to figure out what we gotta do and get them back.
Yeah, do you want to have Dave talk to him, or want me to write him a letter, or what would you prefer?
Well, I think it better come from the county. I think.
Okay.
And have them come over and then maybe we all can meet up there and we'll just go over what needs to be done. Dave can be here, that's fine, I have no problem. And Janine or whatever, but I think it's gotta come from the county, otherwise it will just tell us town saying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I hear you. What, is this a different subject? or
Yeah,
is
the
this-
roof up there, that Ace did the roofing the next week,
Oh,
so then it's still under warranty and.
well, they didn't put insulation under the membrane and to install it right, it has to be insulated underneath. They put it over the old roofing. Which doesn't work either. It has to be stripped, insulated, and then the new stuff over the top.
Didn't they say they,
I'm distracting him.
didn't they say they'd make it good?
I talked to them at a builder show in Helena the other day, and I asked them if they were still in business, if they'd done the courthouse. He said they've got an office in Wilsall, and I said, well, they did our courthouse and they did a terrible job. They didn't insulate, it leaks all over it, they didn't wrap over the walls, which you have to do to do it right. He said, yeah, you need to call them up and get them back over there, they'll have to do it right. So he couldn't believe it, he said, they don't put that over the old roof. I said, well, they did on ours. He said, I spent the last 2 years up there, it's over the old roof, you know, when it's hot and lays down, you can see the old roof.
Before we go much further on that, we probably need to send them a letter and talk to them, so they don't, otherwise they're just gonna think, well, what's this guy just come around and, you know.
Yeah, and I didn't call him. I waited, to talk to you guys. I'm happy to do that for you. I've got a lot of experience roofing, and I think it might be. You might get farther with somebody who knows what they're talking about,
I guess, yeah, that's
but
fine.
whatever you guys want to do is fine with me.
I think we just.
I think if it's under warranty, we would have them come and fix it.
Well, it's not fixed, it's remove and replace it right.
If they didn't do it right first time, don't they have to come back and do it right?
If you know what to tell them and make sure that it happens, yeah. But there's nobody up there watching them when they did it the first time. Janine said there was only one of them that spoke English. So if you don't have somebody that knows what's going on, you're gonna get shorted every time.
That's why we're gonna have coming down to it, somebody's gonna have to be watching over this stuff and, cause we just get the bills and the hearsay and. Right. So, well, let's do that. Let's send them a letter and get them on the agenda and see if we can get them to come over and then we can all be there.
You figure out when I'll lift back up and we'll fly y'all up and. You'd wanna wait till there's, so they can see what's going on.
I'll send them the letter then. Yeah, I'll send them an email.
All right, thanks, Glenn.
Okay.
Other than that, I think, we're pretty much caught up on everything,
Janine wants a drain out here along the east side of the stairs or the sidewalk
we'll have to put it on the agenda and talk about it.
next week. Okay.
There's a couple things I want, yeah. Yeah, if we can, we put that drain in, it's fine, but you know, you're gonna build up that sidewalk, well, we're not keeping up with, keeping the snow cleared out anyway, so it's just gonna keep piling more, we gotta figure out how to get that water from there to there. Did it work, I know we gotta do work out here, but it needs to start up there, we're just gonna end up being, see, we put in some asphalt there.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets filled up, cause they don't get here and don't get it plowed when they should, and then when they do, then it's all packed down, when the cars are driving, and then
Yeah.
shit, it just fills up, like now, it's not so much all that coming off the roof. But they don't have nowhere to drain out there,
Yeah.
it's a drain spot.
What we were talking about was like a floor drain in a shop, running just on the east edge of that slab out here, the loading zone. And everything that runs down to that will hit that floor drain and go down and around the corner.
Chuck brought that up to about it moving the or another manhole, what you said it, or like something about moving it up, or Blanche said moving the hole back, or having another hole up there, so we'd have two.
There's another one right there by the tree, there's a manhole
But
cover.
that, yeah, but it's not.
Is it a drain or what's
Wow,
down there?
what the hell it is. There.
It's buried
Then
under
we
the
gotta
snow.
talk to The city before we start doing a bunch of. stuff.
Yeah. If we just put a drain across that east side, you know, there's a gap that wide between the concrete and the asphalt. Just, you know, build a steel box with a grate over the top of it, so everything that melts flows into that. You could drop a heat tape into it and go right down to that drain. Down into the drain and put an outlet off the corner of the building. Be a pretty simple fix, but I wanted to visit with you. If you're interested, I'll put a bid together. If not, I'll leave you alone.
Well, we gotta do something before somebody
Okay.
calls again, cause it's, I mean. All I'm just saying, a lot of times though, we're not getting the snow cleaned up.
Yeah.
There's lots of maintenance that should get done sooner than later. I'm not,
Yeah, I hear you. That
That'd
would
be
simplify
something.
that.
Do it, that might stop putting all that other cement work in too.
Yeah, I don't think you need curb blocks or any more cement. I think that'd be a pretty simple fix. Run the drain across that east side of the sidewalk and then even put it right down to the manhole cover.
Sidewalk's not that bad, she wants to just build it up, if you're not taking care of it, but you can have it 3 feet high.
Yeah, and then you gotta step over it in the summer too. You build it up higher, then you gotta,
Trip balls.
yeah,
Throw something at us on that. and we can
okay,
Put it on the agenda and talk about it,
okay.
especially spring coming. We gotta do something, so, all right, anything else?
If we get Ace back, that's putting my project off further until they're done, to put the trim metal around the top edge. Cause I don't think we wanna put that on and then have Ace tear it off and then have to redo it, so,
Let's get them back and talk to them, and then we'll have you come up and.
Okay.
That way be here and.
yeah. And I'm happy to help with whatever I can around here, I don't need paid for all of it, you know, if I get a bid, I'm happy to get paid, but otherwise. Whatever you need, just holler.
Sounds good. Anything else? Hope not.
Been a busy morning.
You done with me?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I don't have enough else, you guys. Make a motion, Darren.
I'll second it.
Oh, Wayne has his hand up to like